Now to sit back and enjoy the action. It's Paok against Aberdeen in the Europa Conference League with Rory Loy and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Kenny. Good evening, everyone. From the Toumba Stadium in Thessaloniki in northern Greece, where Aberdeen faced the most daunting of tasks in an incredibly hostile, intimidating atmosphere. Paok didn't deliver the full knockout blow to Aberdeen's chances in the Conference League 2 weeks ago with that pulsating comeback in the last 17 minutes plus stoppage time, but they certainly struck a gut punch which Aberdeen will struggle to recover from. But all they can do is keep trying to perform and try and take positives and keep going. But it's a daunting task. Hearts found that out all too well at the end of August when they came here with a 2-1 deficit from the match at Tynecastle and were taken apart 4-0. Paok only drawn 2 of their 9 home games this season. They won the other 7, no defeats, and they've only lost 2 of their 19 games in all competitions overall. And one of those was after that Pittodrie win to their title rivals, one of them anyway, AEK Athens. So they do not lose many games, Paok, and they certainly don't lose games here at the Toumba Stadium. And they've had the luxury as well, Razvan Lucescu, the manager, of making 6 changes from their emphatic win against Olympiakos in Athens at the weekend, where they were 4-0 up, conceded a couple late on, but it was a fantastic result for them to keep them in touch at the top of the table. They've made 6 changes though, but it's 9 of the 11 who started at Pittodrie and won the game. Aberdeen with those 2 changes, Clarkson and Miofsky, who Barry Robson has said pre-match is suffering from a little bit of a knock, although he is fit to make an impact off the bench. Barry Robson says if they need him. He was holding his hamstring when he came off at Hampden on Sunday against Hibs after scoring the winner. So Miofsky and Clarkson to the bench, Duke and Ryan Duncan in for Aberdeen, who line up with Kilroos in goal, Garteman, Rubizic and Jens in the back 3, McKenzie and Devlin on the flanks, Shinnie, Barron, Duncan and McGrath the midfield with Duke up top. And Paok, as I say, 9 of the 11 that started at Pittodrie start this evening. Katarski in goal, Viarina, Truste Kong, Kouliarakis, Baba in the back 4, Singaras, Schwab, Konstantelias, Despirov, Tyson and Thomas, as the boos ring out as Aberdeen kick this game off. And it's not a sellout here at the Toumba Stadium, but it's certainly noisy, and Aberdeen will try and compose themselves early on and try and take the sting out of the crowd, but they are going to boo and whistle every touch that Aberdeen have of the football this evening, as Kilroos goes with a big switch of play out to the right hand side, but Nicky Devlin can't keep it in, and it'll be a Paok throw-in. Rory, that's some noise the Paok fans to our left are making, the ultras.
Yeah, it is, and you know it's going to be just as intimidating on the pitch. You can see why they've retired the number 12 shirt in honour of the fans, the 12th man, and you can see what they bring already.
Here's Jimmy McGrath though, picking it up midway through the Paok half for Aberdeen. He's in a tight corner on the left hand touchline, but he's managed to get it away to Graham Shinnie, who was down just over back in the Aberdeen half. Now it's Rubizic back out to Shinnie on the left, infield to Jensen, who helps it round the corner, and then McKenzie tries to play it into the feet of Duke, but it's Truste Kong who intercepts rather comfortably the centre half, and he'll play it to Kouliarakis, who's already got a couple of goals in this campaign against Helsinki and Frankfurt. The 19-year-old Greek centre back, talented player. Here's Baba, the left back, gives it back to Kouliarakis, who takes a couple of strides forward. Paok with the incentive of clinching qualification to the knockout rounds with victory here this evening. A draw would probably do it unless Helsinki pull off a miracle at home to Frankfurt, but that seems unlikely given Frankfurt won 6-0 in the reverse fixture in Germany a fortnight ago. Here comes Konstantelias, who's dropped in, 20-year-old, gives it to Singaras, and Paok just stroking it about at the back for now. And they go to the right hand side, and Viarina, the former Portuguese international and captain, got the second goal, the equaliser at Pittodrie a fortnight ago. Out to the other side now, and Baba comes infield to, and it's intercepted in fact by Gartenman, gives it to Connor Barron, who's trying to turn away, but he's muscled out of possession by Tyson, who's trying to fire it in behind for Despodov, but Kilroos comes across right to the edge of his box on this right hand side of the area and collects it, and the danger is over for Aberdeen for now.
Yes, the last few minutes, a very familiar feel and look to Aberdeen's European campaign so far. That bank of 5 and 4 and that one of Duke up front, and it's worked for large portions of games against the opposition, trying to frustrate them, and they will need to try and break Aberdeen down, Paok. It's just whether Aberdeen can be as potent on the counter-attack as they have been in previous games.
Absolutely. Well, Aberdeen trying to play out from the back, and Paok are pressing. Constantelius getting on top of Stefan Gartenmann. Eventually goes back to Kellaroos, who's going to go long with the right boot up towards McGrath. Flicks it on, and Duke's maybe in behind here. No, the defender Kouliarakis just holds him off and then hooks it clear with the left foot. Aberdeen have it in their own half. Devlin helps it up into the air. Again, it's towards Duke. Again, Kouliarakis is underneath it. It's not the best header though, and McGrath controls it with the chest. Right hand corner of the box. Aberdeen menacing. Back to Devlin, who's going to fizz in the cross, and it was beyond the goalkeeper, but there was no one in a red shirt making a run into the 6-yard box. It's gone out to the left hand side now. It'll be kept in. Back to Shinnie, left hand side. Then back to Jensen, who puts a low cross in with the left foot, but it doesn't beat the first man. And Paok will clear, and now launch the counter through Tyson. He's jinking up towards the halfway line. He gives out to Constantelias on the left wing. He's got a little bit of space, the Greek youngster. He comes in on the right foot, and he's put a searching cross to the back post where Despadov collects right on the edge of the box. He's fired one across goal, but Kellaroos gathers fairly comfortably and says, calm down everyone. It's 0-0, 3 minutes played here at the Toomba Stadium.
Yeah, really good passage of play there for Aberdeen. You know, showing they can commit bodies forward and do well. A disappointing cross in the end from Jensen when they had numbers forward, and Paok showing just how quickly they can counter-attack. Constantelius, again the 20-year-old, making things happen at the heart of the Paok attack.
Aberdeen go long. It's for Duke, who put out the right boot to try and control it over his shoulder. It was a difficult one to take, and he couldn't take it, and it's gone through to the goalkeeper Dominik Katarskas, the 23-year-old Croatian. Played every minute this season for Paok. Omar Marmoush of Frankfurt, the only player in 9 Conference League games, including qualifiers this season, to score here, past Dominik Kwiatkowski. And here he goes, the goalkeeper long with the right foot. He's gone to for Despadov, and the flag stayed down for now, and the Aberdeen defence banked on the high line there, and the flag stayed down. It might have gone up belatedly, but it bounced into the arms of Kellaroos in any case, and Aberdeen go up the pitch. McGrath loses out to Trustekon, and then it's squared for Kouliarakis, who takes a touch and puts it into the feet of Singaras. The Greek midfielder gets it back. Duke is the only man in the Paok half. He's trying to block the passing options through the middle. It's out to Baba on the left hand side. Poor touch from the former Chelsea player, and it's won by Devlin. It's given away by Gartenmann, and it's now to the feet of Tyson, the Brazilian. Jinxon Field gives it to Constantelius, who's going towards the edge of the box. Graham Shinnie with a brilliant tackle. The Aberdeen captain sliding in from behind and hooking the ball away from Constantelius. The home fans didn't like that one, but the referee did like it, didn't blow the whistle, and it's play on.
Yeah, fantastic tackle from Graham Shinnie, the captain. He manages just to hook his foot round the ball and stop Constantelius right in the edge of the box. But Aberdeen need to sharpen up. They can't give the ball away so cheaply.
Gartenmann knocks it back to Kellaroos, who knocks it high with the right foot. Again, it's up towards Duke again. Kouliarakis gets there comfortably, wins the header. Rubezic is under this one, and he tries to go short to Devlin with a headed pass, and Tyson intercepts. Constantelius picks up, he spread it to the right hand side of the box, where Despadov picks up the Bulgarian. He's running at Jensen, tries to cross. Jensen blocks. It goes back out to the right hand side, where Despadov, who scored the first with his first touch at Pittodrie in the reverse fixture, he's playing on the right hand side. He's one of the 2 changes in the team from the 3-2 win at Pittodrie. Paok come over to the left hand side, and Baba, then Tyson again, who's getting a lot of early opportunities to run. He's in at the left corner of the box, crosses it, and it's towards Thomas, out to the edge of the Aberdeen box, where McGrath picks up, back to Jensen, and back to Gartenmann in his own box, and he's brilliantly got the pass away to Devlin under pressure, who then looks for the run of Ryan Duncan up the right touchline, but it's too far in front of the Aberdeen player, and Kouliarakis will collect under no pressure. Yeah,
you described that as brilliant, but I think risk versus reward there. He got away with it, but you know, putting his teammate under a lot of pressure. Nicky Devlin then gets the ball and gives it away straight away. You know, Aberdeen trying to pass the ball, and at times they've done it really, really well. I just worry that if they do try and take too many risks in their own half, they might get picked off, and Tyson has looked very, very sharp in the opening 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, got a couple here in the 4-0 win against Hearts. Former Shakhtar Donetsk player, 8 years, played at the highest level in the Champions League, and he's had some joy on the left hand side in the early moments. You can see the Paok manager well down below in front of us with the white trainers on, which seems to be the style these days, prowling his technical area. He had a lot to say in his press conference yesterday, brought up the fact that Nicky Devlin blew him a little sarcastic kiss after scoring Aberdeen's second, and was giving it back after, of course, his side came back to win 3-2, so there was a bit of needle in that game.
There was, yeah. I'm not sure in Willie's day that blowing kisses was the way that you let a teammate know you were in the game, or sorry, an opposition player. But there you go, that was Nicky Devlin's choice.
Here come Paok playing out from the back. Baba, he's on the left hand side, he's given it infield to Tyson and then into Constantelias, takes a touch, then cushions it back to Tyson. He's got a red wall in front of him, knocks it to Baba on the left hand touchline, back infield to Constantelias, and he's tried a ball in behind for Baba, it's bouncing, and Nicky Devlin just comes across and shields it. 8 minutes gone, it's goalless here at the Toomba Stadium between Paok and Aberdeen.
Yeah, that type of ball will encourage Aberdeen, because it's just frustration that Aberdeen are back, they're well organised, and it's very, very difficult for Paok to get through the lines. Paok maybe need to move the ball slightly quicker to try and find Constantelias higher up the pitch. It's fine if he gets it in front of the 5 at the back and the 4 in midfield, there's no threat at all. And Aberdeen generally in Europe have been very, very compact and hard to break down.
Kjell Roos is instructing Jensen to make an angle, and he's given him it, and Thomas, the striker, will go over and close it down, and then Jensen gives it away. It's intercepted by Singaras, fizzes it into the feet of Constantelias. Now Thomas, right hand corner of the box. The pass is intercepted, but it's still going. Here's Desperov, cross from the right hand side. Shinnie cushions it into the path of Jensen, who dummies and then passes up the left hand side. Aberdeen certainly got intent to pass the ball, but they're getting caught in risky areas at the moment. But they've given it to Barron. He's midway through his own half. He's got a wee bit of space to work with, and he drills one along the deck to Ryan Duncan on towards this near touchline. Barron gets it back, and he's gone for the big switch with the right boot. It's a wonderful pass out to McGrath, who gets a head on it, and it drops for Jack McKenzie, and it tries to give it back to McGrath on the left hand touchline, but Paok get in and make the tackle, and then recycle, give it to Trustekong in his own box. He's looking for an option. Duke's cutting off the pass across the box, and then he goes long. Gartenman wins the header for Aberdeen. It drops for Duncan, who gives it infield to Barron, who turns back towards his own goal, gives it to Gartenman, then knocks it to Devlin inside the Paok half, and into Barron, who jinks away from opposition player, but then he's muscled out of it, and then Paok can counter. Constantelias tries to play it to Brandon Thomas on the left hand side, and it's out for a throw into Aberdeen. 0-0, 10 minutes almost on the clock.
I think Barry Robson, 10 minutes in, will be pretty pleased. A couple of shaky moments. Richard Jensen, I'm not convinced, actually wanted the ball there, and it showed once he got it. He gave it straight back to Paok. However, I think they've not troubled the goalkeeper Kotarski just yet, but positive signs. Quite happy Barry Robson will be, I think.
Aberdeen looking to be the first Scottish club. Wow, Kjell Roos there, closed down by Constantelias and almost made a meal of it, but managed to get it away. But Aberdeen certainly trying to play out from their own box, but taking a few risks. It's gone out for a throw into them on the far side there, but as I was saying, Aberdeen looking to be the first Scottish club side in European competition to win on Greek soil. 14 attempts. It's been a difficult place for Scottish clubs to come. Rangers did get a 1-0 draw away to Panathinaikos on their run to the UEFA Cup final. Nachinovo scoring to send them through in away goals, but more or less been draws and defeats all the way through. And it's intercepted by Brandon on halfway. Here's Singaras for Paok on the halfway line, gives it infield. Tyson facing his own goal, knocks it back to Kouliarakis, and then goes to Trustekong. And Paok just knocking it about. The ultras to our left, waving their arms in the air, roaring their team on. The Aberdeen fans to the other side of us, and the 800 of them that have travelled. Trustekong at centre back plays it across halfway to Villarinha, who jinks towards the middle of the pitch, passes off, gets it back. He's on the touchline now. He's going to try and take on his man. He slips it down the touchline to Constantelias, who's here, there and everywhere for Paok. Rubizic puts a foot in, and it's going to be a throw in next to the corner flag on the far side for Paok. They take it quickly. It's back to Stefan Schwab, and infield now to Singaras. He's driving towards the edge of the box, looks to slip in Despadov, and it's intercepted by Rubizic and then cleared downfield for Aberdeen. They're being pinned back, Rory.
They are, and that was a touch of class from Schwab there, finding his teammate. Singaras under pressure, who tries to thread the eye of a needle, really.
Played out to the left hand side where Brandon Thomas, the Spaniard, collects. He gets it back after a 1-2. He's come infield, but he's 45 yards from goal. Rubizic intercepts, then his touch is heavy, then he wins the tackle, and he's done it illegally. He's fouled Brandon Thomas, and it'll be a Paok free kick midway through the Aberdeen half, fairly central.
Yeah, I actually think Rubizic tried to pull out of the tackle, knowing he wasn't going to get there, and it probably looked worse than it was, but probably just enough in it to give an award the free kick.
12.5 minutes played here at Toomba Stadium. No chances really to speak of from either team, but Aberdeen have had a bit of possession. Paok, as you would expect, dictating things, and they have a free kick fairly central halfway through the Aberdeen half. Despodov, the Bulgarian international, is going to take. He puts the right arm up, he's ready to deliver it, he's going to whip it in towards the penalty spot, and it's Gartenman, I think, who gets a head on it, and he was fouled, says the referee, Mr. Shaka from Albania. Aberdeen with a free kick in their own penalty area.
Yeah, it was the striker of Paok, I think it was Thomas, who tries to volley it, ends up volleying Gartenman right in the hip. But good bravery from Gartenman to go in and head the ball. And again, I think Aberdeen will be quite pleased at how they're set up and how they're doing. Just need to show a little bit more attacking intent if they can, but that'll come with time, I'm sure.
Goalless in the other game in this group, incidentally, between HJK Helsinki and Eintracht Frankfurt. Frankfurt and Paok win tonight, and they'll both go through. And Devlin exchanges passes down the right foot with Duncan. He's crossed it in towards Duke, who takes a touch on the swivel and buries it. Aberdeen have scored. Duke, with virtually his first touch, swivels in the box and fires it past Katarski. What a stunning moment for Duke and Aberdeen. They lead Paok by a goal to nil. What a start to this game.
Well, attacking intent, I suggested they needed to show some of it, and my goodness, what a first touch and swivel of the body by Duke. It's not easy to do. The ball comes in low across the ground from Nicky Devlin, just bounces up off the surface. He takes a lovely first touch with his right, biffs Ekong out the way, and with his left foot slots it into the back of the net. And my goodness, Aberdeen defying the odds once again and taking the lead against Paok. Magnificent goal, magnificent finish by Duke.
Willie Miller, what are your thoughts on that goal? Duke, your man, has done
it's sensational. You know, at last he's came to life, and he's showing what he's capable of. But fantastic cross in from Devlin though as well. But the first touch, the swivel and the strike was top quality striker play from the centre forward. We had questions whether that through the middle position would suit him. That's your answer. What a goal.
Willie Miller there. We'll hear more from Willie. What a start for Aberdeen, and Duke, just his third goal of the season, is at the moment for him to spark things into life. There was a brief VAR check, but the goal stands, and Aberdeen leads at the Toomba Stadium in Thessaloniki. And Paok, will be stunned at that.
Well, Thomas, it was a goal which most definitely belongs on the European stage. A touch and finish of the highest quality from Duke.
And here come Paok, Tyson running after it, but Gartenman gets there, helps it back to Kelarus, and he launches it long. It's out for a throw in just over the halfway line to Paok. Well, this wasn't in the script for the home side, and they do know Aberdeen are capable, that's for sure, having scored 2 at the Tawdry. But to come away to this venue and start like that, but they'll have plenty of work still to do as the ball goes into the Aberdeen box, but it's too far in front of Despodov, and Kelarus just lets it run out for a goal kick. 16 played, that's Paok 0, Aberdeen 1.
Yeah, they seem really comfortable and confident in the makeup of these type of fixtures. They were very good over in Frankfurt, as we've already spoken about, and they had moments across in Hacken. They have conceded goals along the way, but in the main, the 3 at the back, or the 5 as it is most of the time, with McKenzie and Devlin tucking back in as fullbacks, it's suited Aberdeen, and they've done it well.
And that's a shocker of a goal kick from Kelarus. It's just dribbled along the ground. It went over the halfway line, but it's gone straight out. And the Aberdeen fans away to our right certainly enjoyed that moment. Duke went over and slid on his knees in front of the corner flag where they're all housed. And what a moment for them to cherish from their long trip. Can their team build on it? Going to have to do a lot of defending. And Paok have the ball. Viorina, captain, moves it infield to William Trustekong, the Nigerian international. Across to Kouliarakis, forward to Tyson, the Brazilian on the left-hand touchline. He's come in field and he's squared it across to Stefan Schwab. Left-footed pass along the deck to Viorina on the right-hand side, drops the shoulder, comes inside Jack McKenzie, then goes for the left-footed cross towards the back post, where Aberdeen defend and just let it run in behind. Held their ground in the box. Tyson hit the deck, but there was no chance that it was going to be given for a block behind.
No, Nicky Devlin just stands his ground. Tyson runs into him and falls to the deck. I've got a monitor in front of me here, so I can see a few seconds later, and it's exactly as I described. Stands his ground, runs directly into him. It's never a penalty. I don't think Tyson was looking for a penalty, really, to be fair.
Well, it's 30 years since Aberdeen won an away match in European competition, the main draw of European competition, and they beat Valur of Iceland in the 93-94 Cup Winners' Cup, and they're leading here in Thessaloniki. And Duke goes down claiming for a foul. It's not given. That was checked, that incident. Nicky Devlin with it in the box, but there was nothing given, and the Paok fans certainly disagreed, as you would expect they would. And here come the Greeks with Singaras taking it across the halfway line. Right footed pass to William Troost-Ekong, the centre half, goes with the left foot to Villarina on the right hand side. He's put it in the air towards the left hand corner of Aberdeen's box. It's headed away by Jensen, then Shinnie picks up forward for Duke, who can't control, and Paok will regather and give it to Rahman Baba on the left hand side. Former Chelsea player, once cost 20 million quid, moved from Augsburg to Chelsea back in 2015. Tyson comes in field from the left onto Villarina, thinks about the cross. He's moving into central position about 35 yards out, then onto Kouliarakis midway through the Aberdeen half. Left footed pass to Baba. He's one-on-one now with Duncan into Konstantelias, gives it first time backwards to Kouliarakis. Again, it's along the back line. Patient stuff from Paok, but Aberdeen with everyone back. Even Duke is midway through his own half, and then McGrath intercepts that pass, and he's won a free kick as well. Jamie McGrath, excellent work from the Aberdeen midfielder.
Yeah, it's not particularly easy on the eye at times, especially when you see Duke at times going back as deep as the midfield, and it's a 5-5 effectively. However, I think if you've got no threat going the other way, then it can be a long night, but they have, and I think Duke was a little unlucky not to win a free kick. He does go down easily at times, Duke, but Troost-Ekong looked like he caught him, and he's given big William Troost-Ekong a tough time so far. Like I said, he just leaned into him for that goal, knocked him off his balance, and Duke managed to use his body weight to compose himself and tuck it in the net.
Here's Konstantelias, left hand side of the Aberdeen box. He's got Garteman in front of him, makes the tackle, and then Garteman keeps it in and prevents the corner, and then it's hacked out for a throw in to Paok on this left hand side, and Rahman Baba has it in his arms. He's getting ready to take as the Paok fans continue their relentless singing and jumping and flag waving behind that goal that they're shooting into, and Shinnie makes the tackle on Baba, and it's out for another Paok throw in. 20 minutes on the clock. Duke's goal has Aberdeen in front here at the Toomba Stadium, scored on 14 minutes. That's the difference between the sides. Paok going in search of an equaliser, thrown into Konstantelias, who's under severe pressure from Devlin and Shinnie, and miscontrols out the park. Aberdeen goal kick.
Yep, Shinnie started the game really well. I feel he's been the one, when they have at times wanted to put pressure on the ball, he's led the charge. He knows when to go, it's that experience. He doesn't leave the team too exposed when he does it. He knows the right time to start that trigger.
Well, the Paok fans unhappy with the length of time Kel Roos has taken to take this free kick, and he's gone long, and Duke's going to run him behind, but Kouliarakis gets a crucial header. It drops for Duncan, who heads it to McGrath, who can't control it out the air, and it's turned over and away, and Villarina gets Paok on the front foot. Here's Thomas twisting and turning on halfway. He goes down looking for a free kick, and he gets it just outside the centre circle. Paok free kick.
Yeah, it was a free kick from Conor Barron, who pulled him back, but it's not a bad one to give away, because Aberdeen didn't have the numbers behind the ball that they have done so far. So a decent foul from Barron, and he avoids a booking as well.
Played him behind on the left hand side for Baba. He's got the march on Duncan. He's crossed into the near post, and then it's checked away, and then a strike comes in from the edge of the box from Stefan Schwab, but he's blazed it over. So that was a dangerous cross, and a warning sign for Aberdeen. The first real one we've had in the opening 21.5 minutes.
Yep, and Stefan Schwab, he doesn't get a lot of goals, but he's certainly capable from that distance. He's got a sweet left foot on him, and he catches it far too sweet on this occasion, and it goes high, wide and handsome over crossbar.
Yeah, he's got 3 goals this season, 2 of them from the spot. One, of course, the winner at Pittodrie, the other, the equaliser at Tynecastle against Hearts. Keller Roos goes long with a goal kick. Header picked up by Aberdeen, and Barron into Duncan, but again Aberdeen are swarmed when they have the ball and lose it. Konstantelias picks it up bang on halfway. He jinks it past one and forces it through to Tyson, who's robbed Rubicic, and he's charging towards the edge of the box now. Tyson, then he slips it to Despodov, who's on the edge of the 6 yard box, cuts it back, and it's tucked into the bottom corner. Paok are level, and it's back to front. Quick passing, quick interchange, and it's lethal stuff from Paok, and Tyson levels this match. It's Paok 1, Aberdeen 1.
Yeah, Despodov was a thorn in the side of Aberdeen all night at Pittodrie. and it's Barron and Shinnie who both go charging in the middle of the pitch. They lose out. Rubezic, far too rash, wants to try and win everything. He gets caught out. They're in on the back line. Lovely timing of the pass from Despadov. Cut back. Tyson makes no mistake at all, and that is the goal of the highest quality as well, you have to say, and it's 1-0.
Tyson adding to his tally against Scottish clubs this season. That's 3 now. Double here against Hearts. He's 35, but he's still got it. Played at the highest level, scored in the Champions League against the likes of Man United and Napoli. He was in the Brazil squad at the 2018 World Cup, and he started and finished that move. It's wonderful stuff. And let's get the reaction of Willie Miller in Aberdeen.
Well, just when it was going so well, and Paok didn't really look a threat, but two midfield players getting in the way of each other, and then Rubezic diving in when there's no need for it. That's not the danger. He doesn't have to win the ball in that area, and as soon as that happens, then the whole thing opens up and it ends up in the back of the net. So disappointing from an Aberdeen point of view.
Thanks, Willie. We'll hear more from Willie throughout the game at half-time as the ball goes back to Kelarus. He takes it in his hands, and the home fans here, well, if ever they were quiet, it's been picked up a notch. Barron takes it deep in his own half, knocks it back to Jensen, who goes back to Kelarus, and Aberdeen, well, they started well with that Duke goal, and now Duke's going to chase a loose ball in behind, but it's dropped for Trustekong, who then clears it up the pitch, and Rubezic wins the header. He nods it to the feet of Richard Jensen, looks up, left-footed pass forward to McGrath, controls it well, gives it to the left-hand side where Jack McKenzie collects. He gives it infield to Duke, back to McGrath, who looks up, he's got a bit of space, turns away to the left-hand touchline to McKenzie, knocks it back to Jensen in his own half, across to Rubezic. And now Paok put the press on as Gartenmann collects. He goes long with the right foot towards Duncan. It's not in the path of the Aberdeen midfielder, and Paok regather possession. Here's Thomas going backwards, and then Barron puts a strong challenge in. It pops up in the air and goes over to the left hand side, and Jamie McGrath will get there first ahead of Villarina, and then knocks it back to Jack McKenzie down the left hand touchline across to Connor Barron, who turns, passes it across the halfway line along the grass. Jack McKenzie takes a few steps forward, goes down the left hand side to McGrath, then gives it infield to the box to Shinnie, who pulls it across looking for Duke, and it's deflected off a defender into the arms of Katarski, the Paok goalkeeper. Well, the defender didn't know too much about that, and that was in the end a chance for Aberdeen.
Yeah, it was. Villarina was down off the pitch holding his head, and it gave Jack McKenzie so much space down that left hand side, and he manages to find Graham Shinnie, who's in a lot of space in the box, you must say, and it actually comes off the defender, Kouliarius, but the keeper manages to make a save. It's quite comfortable in the end, to be fair, Thomas.
It was straight at him, wasn't it? But it popped off the defender. He was in the right position. But Graham Shinnie had oceans of room in the Paok box, but couldn't pick out Duke.
Probably more than he realised. He maybe could have taken a touch, but he's just trying to flash it across the face of goal.
Katarski goes long. It's Paok 1, Aberdeen 1. Tyson's goal cancelling out Duke's opener after 14 minutes for Aberdeen. Plenty of European action to come here on Sport Sound. Obviously Kenny is at Ibrox for Rangers against Sparta Prague. Kicks off at 8. We'll head there straight after a word done here in Greece as Rangers look to continue their good form under Philippe Clement. Aberdeen looking to spring a shock here at the Toomba Stadium.
One thing that really stands out about that Paok equaliser is people talk about composure, but also decision making in the final third, and you only really talk about it, if the wrong decisions made, but you watch that goal and the decision making and the calmness and the coolness of the goal overall was just a joy.
Here's Tyson, the goal scorer, left hand side midway through the Aberdeen half, gives it infield to Konstantelias, the 20-year-old, gets it back, then goes back to the centre circle with his pass to William Trustekong, who squares it back to Tyson. He's just loving running from deep at the moment. He's building up a head of steam here, and he gives it to Konstantelias, who's on the left wing, dummies the cross, comes back in on the right foot, gives it to the near post where Rubezic cuts out the cross. It's dinked back in towards Baba, who squares it across, and it's almost turned into his own net by Rubezic, but it comes back off the right hand post. Aberdeen living dangerously there, and it's up in the air. Rubezic on the edge of the box heads it up in the Greek sky, and then it's bobbling about. Paok have the ball. Baba heads it back to Tyson, who's going back towards the halfway line. Well, that was Very close.
It was, and you know, it was tight with the offside, but I do think he was on Baba. It was a lovely flick by Konstantilis. It's this left-hand side where they're causing most of the problems. Konstantilis is pulling out to this left-hand side. Tyson's really on it tonight, already got his goal. He's looked our most powerful player moving forward, and Baba's up and down all day.
Here comes Kouliarakis, the centre half, steps into the game midway through the Aberdeen half, nudges it with outside of the boot to Tyson on the left wing. He's coming infield again, gives it to Baba. 1-2, little back heel, back into the path of Tyson, cuts it across. Despotov's rushing in at the back post, but Jack McKenzie was there to hook it away. But when Paok get going, they really get going.
Oh, they do, and that was a magic touch by Baba. The little flick round the corner back to Tyson, and then it's flashed right across the face of goal. It's this left-hand side again. But that was a wonderful move by Paok.
Throw in all the way back to Trustakong. He's midway through the Aberdeen half, takes a couple of touches, knocks it with the right foot to Kouliarakis in space. He's switched it with the left foot to Viorina on the right hand side. He's got a bit of space for the cross. He goes low to the penalty spot, cleared by Gartenmann. Paok really upping the ante since Tyson's equaliser. Here's Baba, who's been brilliant down the left hand side as well, gives it to Tyson, who's hugging the touchline again down this left hand side, and the pass goes to the centre circle where Trustakong, the Nigeria international, takes a touch, comes forward, then goes backwards, gives it to Kouliarakis, his centre half partner. He rolls it with the left foot, gives it back to Trustakong, and Aberdeen just in that shape with a back five drifting across the pitch to meet the right hand side where Viorina slips it down the right hand touchline, and there's some defending for McGrath to do. His Despotov twists and turns and almost gets the cross in, but McGrath slides in and forces the corner.
He does really, really well there, McGrath. Viorina tries to skip inside him. He gets a little bit lucky, Viorina, because it bounces back off him. But McGrath recovers well, concedes the corner, but does well given the circumstances. And Paok really moving the ball quickly from side to side now and causing Aberdeen problems, Thomas.
And the Ultras are bouncing up and down quickly, making a hell of a racket away to our left, where this corner's about to be taken over on the far side. Paok shooting into goal where their Ultras are stationed behind in this bowl, concrete bowl of a stadium, and the referee just making sure there's no pushing and shoving. The corner comes in with the right foot into the near post. Aberdeen gets something on it, it falls for Baba, who goes back out to the right hand side, and he gives it to Konstantelias about 25 yards out. He's going to go with a shot with the left foot. No, he dinks in the cross, but it's straight down the throat of Kelarus, the Aberdeen goalkeeper, who collects. Half an hour played, it's Paok 1, Aberdeen 1.
Yeah, Konstantilis had an opportunity there with his right foot just to float it back into the box, decided to come inside and play the disguised chip straight into the hands of Kelarus.
Paok got a huge win away to Olympiacos at the weekend. They were 4-0 up, ended 4-2, but they're fourth in the Greek Super League, 5 points behind Panathinaikos, the leaders, after 10 games, one behind AEK Athens and Olympiacos as they try and wrestle control from the Athens-based clubs. Won the title in 2019, League and Cup double, went unbeaten that season under Razvan Lucescu, the Romanian manager. He went away to Saudi Arabia for a couple of years and he's back now, looking to bring back the success. And Paok now just taking a little moment there. Goalkeeper Katarski has it. He was beaten after 14 minutes by Duke's turn and shot after Nicky Devlin's cross. Wonderful touch and take it was from Duke. Here come Paok with a long ball towards Konstantelias. Jensen heads it to the feet of Rubizic, who touches it with a back foot, but he's lost the ball, and here come Paok. It's into the box almost, and Gartenmann with a crucial interception to deny Despotov, who would have been in one-on-one if Gartenmann hadn't made that interception. Now here's come Paok again. Singaras midway through the Aberdeen half, out to the right hand side now where Konstantelias pops up. He's just got a free roll in that number 10 position to pop up left, right, central. He's everywhere. Now it's over to the left with Baba. Thinks about the cross, he drills it in low, and Shinnie clears it only to the left hand corner of the box where Duncan knocks it back to Gartenmann. Right foot, Devlin under severe pressure, hits it off Rahman Baba and out for an Aberdeen throw. But Aberdeen just looking a bit rattled, maybe too strong, Rory, but they're certainly under pressure.
Yeah, they've become slightly dishevelled in terms of their shape and their decision making at times at the back. But it would be easy to be critical of Aberdeen, but you have to give Paok credit and say they've moved the ball exceptionally well since they've scored. They've moved it quicker with more purpose and pace, and Aberdeen have struggled to deal with it.
Here's Shinnie, and he's under pressure, and he gets a free kick with a short pull by Singaras, I think, just up towards the halfway line. Connor Barron goes quickly, knocks it to Richard Jensen, starting his 12th game in a row alongside Rubezic and Garteman. That's become Barry Robson's go-to back three. It's back with Kellaroos with the right foot, chips it up to the right-hand touchline where Garteman wins the header, but he's headed it straight out the park, and Aberdeen just can't get a foot on the ball and try and build some possession, some play. They were doing it in the early stages, but Paok have really lifted the tempo. Katarski, the keeper, knocks it out to Singaras, who's dropped deep, almost on the edge of his own box. He plays a pass, gets it back, and now he's marching up towards the centre circle. Gives it to Constantelias, the talented 20-year-old who's been linked with Arsenal among others.
I'm not surprised, Thomas. He's a real talent for his age. He takes responsibility, he's always looking for the ball, and then his quality when he gets the ball is clear and obvious.
Yeah, set up Despodov for that first goal at Pittodrie in the last game. Jensen heads it away from the left-hand corner of Aberdeen's box. McGrath wins the ball, gives it back to Shinnie, who fizzes it into the feet of Duke in the centre circle, and then the referee is blown the whistle and he's given a yellow card to the Paok player, who I think is Villarina, the captain, who's gone in the book for a foul. I think Aberdeen might have wanted the advantage to be played there, but they've got the free kick in their own half, and Villarina goes in the book in any case.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the advantage should have been played. Not that they were going to go clean through and goal or anything like that, but it looked like Villarina to me just was a couple of seconds late when Jamie McGrath and just catches him, stands on top of his foot, which is a sore one. I don't think it was intentional. The referee can't always look at intent. He's got to look at it as a whole, but I think a yellow card was the correct decision.
Eintracht Frankfurt have taken the lead over in Helsinki. Chaibi, the scorer, after 33 minutes. So Frankfurt on course for another victory. Early it is, and Aberdeen go long, and Duke is looking to make the run in behind, but he was just eased out of his run by Trustekong. He went down looking for a free kick, but it was never really a free kick. I think he always looks for a free kick, in fairness. Yeah,
he does, and you know, I've been there a million times myself as a striker. You're chasing down a ball to the goalkeeper, a centre back, one of them will always cut across you and try and block your run.
And Katarski goes long. They've kind of spotted almost a high line from Aberdeen at times from goal kicks, because they've pinged it in behind twice, but twice it's just gone through to Kellaroos. Aberdeen play out through Barron, and it's up the left-hand touchline to McKenzie, who's Aberdeen were obviously furious that a foul on him in that first leg when it was 2-1 wasn't given. It would have been a penalty and a chance to make it 3-1 and know how things might have been different, but it wasn't, and Aberdeen ended up losing the game. And the throw-in comes from Paok to Trustekong. It's across to Tyson, who's continually taking the ball, and he's scored Pauk's goal after 22 minutes to get the Greek side level. And here is Singaras in the centre circle, knocks it to Constantelias, takes it towards the left hand side again. He's checked back and gone towards the right now as he gives it to Trustekong, who puts it along the deck with the right foot to Villarina on the right hand touchline, down the line to Despodov. He's got McKenzie and McGrath there in front of him, so he knocks it back to Villarina. The captain has just gone into the book, and Villarina gets it back from Despodov. He's got McKenzie right at his back, he's jinking and weaving, and he's squeezed it along the touchline to Despodov, and then Aberdeen have to come across and make the block. Richard Jensen it was in the end, and it'll be a corner, and Jensen has taken a sore one in the process of making that block. He's limping, and it'll be a corner to Paok, and Jensen limps back onto the pitch. He looks in a bit of discomfort.
Yeah, Aberdeen had a lot of numbers across that side, conceded a corner, which isn't the worst thing in the world. However, possibly should have dealt with the situation slightly better with the numbers they had across. They'll need to defend another corner.
You're listening to Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland. Europa Conference League action. It's Paok 1, Aberdeen 1. Corner to come in from Paok over on the far side into the near post. Jimmy McGrath there, gets the head on it, away out of the box, but only as far as Trustekong. Right with the outside of the right boot, and it drops in the 6-yard box for the Paok forward. It's actually Stefan Schwab who was there, and he just misses it by inches. And if he connects with that, then Paok are probably in front. Yeah, I said it would be easy a minute ago. It would be easy to be critical of Aberdeen. We don't give Paok enough praise. However, you have to say it's awful defending. They've got plenty of numbers back there, and Schwab just wanders into the box. And if he'd went a second earlier, he would have went on the end of that, and it would have been 2-1 to Paok. So Aberdeen need to make sure they're switched on defensively. Duke battling with Singaras, wins the header, but then it falls for Villarina, who leathers it up the pitch with the right foot. Jensen's underneath it, looks like he's shaking off that knock, and he's headed it out for a throw into Paok on the far side. They go quickly to the feet of Villarina, who's on the halfway line. He's crossed that now, and he's a big switch of play out to the right hand side, but it's straight to Nicky Devlin, who heads it looking for Duncan, but it's given away. Then Paok give it to Rahman Baba, who's coming infield from the left. He's dribbling forward. Aberdeen get a foot in, and it breaks for Barron, who's under pressure from Constantelias, but he gets the pass away to Jack McKenzie, who drives forward and then chips it for Duke in behind, but Troost-Ekong is going over to meet him, but Duke almost gets in behind, and Troost-Ekong just gets a crucial touch in. It's really composed defending in the end, but it looked for a split second as though Duke was going to collect that in the box.
Yeah, it did. It's a good ball from McKenzie. It's what you would call a percentage ball, a ball into the space rather than to feet, and Duke runs and tries to get in about Troost-Ekong, who I thought for 1 second was going to lose his footing actually, but his strength, he outmuscles Duke and does really, really well to keep the ball for Paok and puts out any potential danger.
38 minutes played here in the Toumba Stadium in Thessaloniki. Paok 1, Aberdeen 1. Here's Constantelias, comes to the midway point of Aberdeen territory, knocks it to Despodov, back to Constantelias, comes in field to the middle of the pitch. Stefan Schwab collects, he's bang in the centre of the pitch, he gives it to Singaras, then out to the left hand side where Baba collects. He's played it round the corner to Singaras, who's made a run, gives it back to Baba on the touchline, left footed pass along the grass to Tyson, the goal scorer. He takes a couple of steps to the left hand side. He's got Ryan Duncan in front of him, comes in on the right foot, and he's switched out to the right hand side of the box where Villarina's going to collect first time. Deflected cross, and Kelrus leaves it right across his goal, and it almost falls to the back post for Schwab, and then it's headed back by Rubezic into the arms of Kelrus. It was heart and mouth stuff for Barry Robson on the touchline in front of us. Shakes his head. Don't know why Kelrus left that, Rory.
No, I'm not quite sure. Just a little bit of indecision, I think, but I've spoke about it for the last 10 minutes, how well Paok are moving the ball. You know, they had it out on this side here. Graham Shinnie, Ryan Duncan, Nicky Devlin, Connor Barron, all in the same area of the pitch, and it means that once they play that switch, Aberdeen have got all their numbers, so they're sucked across to the other side of the pitch, and it opens up opportunities for Paok.
Flag goes up against Duke after he controlled it nicely on the chest. He was offside, he stepped up at the last minute. So Paok 1, Aberdeen 1. Frankfurt winning in Helsinki in the other game in this group. If both Paok and Frankfurt win, they'll both book their places in the knockout round. Remember, the group winner goes into the last 16, and then the runner-up has to play a Europa League dropout, one of the third place teams in the Europa League. So there is a good incentive to top your group, and that's what Paok will be thinking this evening. They've got themselves back in the game.
Just seen a replay on the screen there. Duke wasn't offside, that was the wrong decision there.
Well, interesting. He had a lot to do. He was facing away from goal, but
still thought I'd point it out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And very disappointing one. Kotarski, the Paok keeper, has the ball at his feet. He's in the D, on the edge of his box. He's just standing with his foot on the ball, waiting for someone to make a passing option. Stefan Schwab has come all the way from the left-hand side, and Kotarski just knocks it to Kouliarakis, the centre-half, who's peeled out towards the touchline. He goes long with the left foot. Devlin comes across and has to take it on the slide and knocks out for a throw-in, so that's a good yardage gain for Paok. And Rahman Baba.
As far as, sorry Thomas to interrupt you, it was interesting there, Kotarski, what he did, because what he was doing was he was waiting on Connor Barron and Graham Shinnie both squeezing up the pitch onto their men before he played that pass, and what happened is it opened up the space and Tyson ran down the left hand side, and ultimately they won a throw in high up the pitch. So I think, you know, they've clocked how deep Aberdeen want to be, so they're just biding their time when the goalkeeper's got the ball.
And it's out to Baba on the left hand side. He's going to try and drive through between two defenders, and a flick round the corner. He gets it back, cuts it back to Brandon Thomas. Effort blocked, then smashes it in again with the left foot, saved and off the post, and then it's cleared to the edge of the Aberdeen box. And now the referee's whistle is gone. There, I think, is an offside flag or a foul perhaps. Aberdeen living on the edge there as Brandon Thomas got two efforts on goal, but it remains Paok 1, Aberdeen 1.
Yeah, some of the touches that Baba, the left back for Paok, has shown in and around the box have been that of, you know, an experienced striker. Really, really good play, and it's flicked round the corner from Schwab, cut back by Baba, and then Thomas has got a couple of efforts at it, and it's actually Baba who ends up offside. Actually, it's a good decision by the linesman, but Aberdeen just hanging on by the skin of their teeth at times now, Thomas.
Absolutely, they've got 3.5 minutes plus whatever's added at half time. What a start it was as well. Devlin crossing for Duke, who took one touch and turned and fired it beyond Kotarski, but Tyson has got Paok back into this game, and they've been on top ever since. Aberdeen not been seen much as an attacking threat since that equaliser. Garteman shields the ball away from Thomas and out to play for a throw-in just over into his own half, and Aberdeen just trying to just get some possession of the ball, because they're chasing shadows a bit at this moment in time. As Singaras heads it to Shinnie, who takes it wonderfully on the chest, and he's immediately pressured by Constantelias, and he's got the free kick in the Paok half, and he's holding his face a bit, Graham Shinnie.
Yeah, he's good at protecting the ball and getting his body in between the opposite player and the ball, and Constantelias maybe just showing a little bit of naivety there. And Graham Shinnie, with all his experience, wins the ball. He's holding his face, but there's no need to hold his face, because there was no contact on his face. Constantelias fouls him, but that's all it is, a foul.
Conor Barron is over the free kick. It's just about 5 or 6 yards away from the centre circle in the Paok half. It's very central, not a great angle to work with, but Barron will look to whip this towards the back post area as Paok hold the high line outside their penalty area. Aberdeen have got people stacked to the back left hand corner of the box, and there's a late run from Jensen, and it's flicked into the middle of the box, and now Aberdeen come forward, and it's just intercepted as it was laid off to Shinnie on the edge of the box. And now here goes Tyson, he's over halfway, he's got numbers with him, he's got Despot to his left, he finds Thomas, who tries to cross. It's Constantelias, gets it back, and another brilliant block from Conor Barron, who tracks back and forces the corner, but Paok broke at speed, and it's another warning sign for Aberdeen.
Yeah, unbelievable pace and strength of running from Tyson, who's been at it all half, but Aberdeen caught cold when they gave the ball away, rushing back to try and defend. I actually thought Constantelias was offside. I don't think the initial pass was intended for him. Maybe he's just on, actually. But they broke so quickly, Paok. Just shows you, if you're going to give the ball away, how quickly you can be punished.
They're going to take this corner on the near side. Right foot, it's Despot to deliver. This one's high to the back post. Kelroos tries and comes to get a punch in it, and he does get something on it, and it's up to the edge of the box, and Gartenman goes after it, and then he's got an arm on his shoulder, goes down and gets the free kick, and there's a yellow card as well. I think that was for Singaras, the midfielder.
Yes, it was, and it's textbook a yellow card. You'll see opposing team steal the ball from a corner, go to run forward, Singaras pulls him back, and it's a deserved yellow card. But I think, as we approach half time, the first 15 minutes was absolutely excellent from Aberdeen. They defended really well, compact, and were excellent, and managed to score a goal. Paok then score. The ship wobbles a little bit, as you'd maybe expect, but they've not conceded again, and they've had some scary moments. So as a minute's added on, I think it's been a really respectable first half from Aberdeen.
Free kick comes along to the right hand corner of the box. Devlin's battling for it. He's claiming it's taken a touch of a defender, but the linesman signals for a goal kick. Devlin will have to jog the length back into position, and Paok will look to go short from the free kick. It's interesting what you said, Rory, about the goalkeeper just delaying things and trying to tease Aberdeen out. It's become a really popular way of playing as well, most famously maybe by Brighton in the Premier League and Roberto De Zerbi, with trying to entice teams out who are maybe looking to sit deep, and Aberdeen are actually going to press here as they play out. And then Jamie McGrath's intercepted it on the left hand side. He's got it on the touchline, he's got no room to manoeuvre. He's tried to go round the defender Troost-Ekong, but he's too strong for him, and he wins the ball, and then Troost-Ekong gets it back after playing a pass. He's jinked it into the path of Tyson down the right hand side, but it's put out by Rubezic for a throw in, and Aberdeen will need to get back into position swiftly. We have almost played the minute of added time. The throw in comes in, Despot comes across, it's put out by Jensen this time for another throw in. Paok looking to get on with it, but they won't have the chance, because there is the half time whistle, much to the fury of one of the Paok players who launched the ball in despair, clearly wanted to get on with it. But there is the half-time whistle, and it's been good from Aberdeen. They started well and they took the leads going up the pitch down the right hand side. Devlin's cross, one touch, turn, finish from Duke on 14 minutes beyond Katarski had them. One goal to the good. What a start it was for them, but Paok have really grown into this game. They've moved the ball at speed, they've had some glorious flicks in and around the box, and eventually some of their pressure told. 22 minutes, Despot free down the right, knocked it across goal, cut it back for Tyson, the Brazilian, who had the easiest of finishes from about 8 yards out and just stroked it into the back of the net. Aberdeen haven't really been seen as an attacking force since then. They've had a lot of defending to do. There was one cross from Shinnie which deflected into the arms of the goalkeeper, but Paok have been threatening. Rubezic cleared the ball off his own post. Kelroos had to make a save from Thomas, and there's been other dangerous moments in the box which Aberdeen have managed to scramble clear. But at the break, you would have to say Barry Robson will think it's so far so good, because here at the intimidating and loud Tumba Stadium in Thessaloniki in Group G in the Europa Conference League, it is Paok 1, Aberdeen 1 at the break.
Aberdeen in the Europa Conference League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
We've got a double helping of European coverage for you on Sports Sound this evening. 8 o'clock kickoff here at Ibrox. Rangers against Sparta Prague in the Europa League. It's building up nicely here. The stadium now starting to come alive. There's a real buzz here, real anticipation of a big game. A big game, of course, already underway in Greece. Aberdeen in Europa Conference League action. We heard from Rory Loy and Thomas Duncan there, one apiece at half-time. Duke with the opening goal for Aberdeen on 40 minutes, a really nice turn and finish, but they were pegged back by the home side on 23. A really nice move, Tyson finishing that off, and they've ridden their luck, you'd have to say, the Dons, since then up until the break, but they have managed to hold on. It'll be a long second 45, you'd imagine. Willie Miller is in our Aberdeen studio for us this evening. Willie, your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I think Aberdeen can take a lot of credit out of their performance. Obviously, when Paok upped the pace a little bit and decided to start to pass the ball quickly, which is always difficult for an opposition side that have got everybody behind the ball. Then it became a bit of a struggle. Listen, the goal was fabulous, wasn't it? Duke eventually coming and showing us what he's capable of, playing through the middle, an unusual position for him, but the actual touch and the turn and the finish was just top quality striking, and a good build-up play down the right. Young Ryan Duncan involved with it as well, and Devlin putting in a very intelligent cross, but it was all down to Duke to make sure that he showed the talent that he's capable of with that first touch, setting it up, taking the defender out of the game completely, and then slotting it into the back of the net. Then Paok began to waken up a little bit, and when a team with their quality start to pass the ball and pass it quickly, and be more direct with their passing as well, it's been a struggle. And Aberdeen could easily have lost a 2-3 goals, not maybe clear-cut chances, but certainly possible opportunities for Paok. I think Rubezic needs to calm down. He is a young, inexperienced at this level as well, central defender, and he's been doing particularly well into, in the middle of Garterman and Jensen. But, a couple of occasions for the goal, he comes diving out, and then another one, he comes diving out trying to win the ball when you don't have to win the ball there. The better decision is to go back the park rather than to go forward. But Paok have shown their qualities. There's no doubt about that. Tyson down the left hand side, Brandon Thomas as well, and Stan Telios too. A lot of threat there, a lot of threat that Aberdeen have done particularly well to keep quiet, but they have had chances. Paok, Aberdeen, looking at 1-1. I think Barry Robson will be happy going in at half time with that, but he'll also be concerned that the quality that Paok have, if they play at the same tempo in the second half, it's going to be difficult for Aberdeen to keep them out.
Willie, what do you make of the shape of the side in the first half and the tactics employed by Barry Robson this evening?
Well, it's what it is. Roy says it's not very easy in the eye, and I've got to agree with him, particularly when you see Duke, coming back and just playing in front of a midfield that's very crowded and a back five that isn't leaving enough a lot of space for the opposition to exploit. So I can understand the tactics completely. I just think that they maybe have to be a little bit more of a threat going forward on the break, on the transition. They've got to try and cause Paok a problem or two, make them think a little bit more. But understand totally the tactics that Barry is employing. It's restricting Paok, I think, because I would be fearful if Aberdeen started to throw players forward and leave gaps at the back. I think Paok are more than capable with the quality of the player that they've got to take advantage of any room, any space that Aberdeen leaves. So I'm actually away from home. I'm okay with how Barry is set up. You get off to a fabulous start, but you're going to have setbacks, and I think they've recovered quite well from the setback of the equalising goal. Yeah, it's going to be testing in the second half though, Kenny. Yeah, no doubt about that, Willie. Rory, the quality of both goals actually was pretty decent tonight, you'd have to say, but in terms of the chances, the pressure created by Paok when they got that leveller in 23 minutes, it's been pretty intense for the Aberdeen defence to cope with.
Yes, it has, and Aberdeen have maybe rode their luck at times, and slightly lucky not to be going in at half-time losing the match, but I think it's been a very respectable performance in a number of areas that Willie's already touched on. Rubizic for the goal, I mentioned risk-reward, during the game. He can see, it's just in front of him, that Shinnie and Barron have both went for the same ball, and that line has been breached, that midfield line has been breached. What is the actual reward of nipping in front of the player there and getting the ball? You're in a position where all your players are in your own half, you've got the ball in the middle of the pitch. Okay, you've stopped the opposition going forward, but I don't really know what he's thinking there, because all he needs to do is hold the player up, push him back the way, give Shinnie and Barron time to get behind the ball. It's easy from up here, of course it is. However, he needs to learn that he cannot win everything, because at this level, I mean, the interchange between Despodov, Konstantelius and the ultimate finish from Tyson was top drawer. It really was, as was Aberdeen's goal as well. Really, really good. But to answer your question, Kenny, they are relatively fortunate to be at 1-1, but they are at 1-1, and I think their endeavour and their bravery at times on the ball has probably been rewarded by being all square at half-time. And if they can keep it that way to 60-65 minutes, I would throw Paul Vara on. He's looked a threat in these games and hasn't looked out of place at all at this level. Throw him on, get him up near Duke, maybe give McGrath or Duncan a break, and get him on, and try and nick another one.
Yeah, well, hope springs eternal for the Dons are right in this game. Paok 1, Aberdeen 1 at half-time. In the other game in the group, HJK Helsinki 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Chebe with a goal there on 31 minutes. That's the first of our European games for you this evening. It's an 8 o'clock start here at Ibrox in the Europa League. Rangers against Sparta Prague. Lee McCulloch and Stephen Thompson are alongside me for this one. We'll get the team news. We'll hear from Philippe Clement later in the programme. Stephen, you covered the game in Prague for us. What did you make of the side? What threat will they pose Rangers this evening?
A big threat. I was really impressed with them. Obviously in that first half, Rangers were lucky to escape without having conceded. They have got real quality, they've got pace in their side, and Rangers, I think, were a bit too tepid. They sat off Sparta in that first half. In the second half they were a wee bit more aggressive, played higher up the pitch, and actually went on to create the better chances in the second half. So I think the key for Rangers is, and they will do this because it's a home game and obviously the crowd makes such a difference, is to start on the front foot and start aggressively and not allow Sparta to settle. But regardless of that, they will carry a threat because of the pace that they've got in the team. For me, Barmancevic was absolutely sensational in the first game. He's definitely one to watch, a very good player. But Rangers should approach this game with a lot of confidence. They're on a good run, they've got momentum, they're into a final of the League Cup, and things just now are going well. Their record here at Ibrox in Europa League games is very, very good. So they should come tonight with confidence. The crowd, as I mentioned, will obviously give them a massive lift, and this game in itself is so big in terms of how the group's going to pan out. It's absolutely pivotal, this game. Obviously, if they beat Sparta, and then they've got Limassol coming up next, and if these two home games they can win, it gives them the chance to go away to Spain, to Seville, to play Betis in the last game of the group stages, with an opportunity to, well, qualify, but even top the group if things go their way. So it's massive tonight, absolutely huge, and I'm really looking forward to it. Great night for a game, and the pitch is looking absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, it's really building here. Just looking at that Group C in the Europa League, all teams have played 3 games. Real Betis topped 6 points, Sparta Prague on 4, Rangers on 4, Aris Limassol on 3 points. Just briefly, Tom, what changes have you seen, what improvements have you seen in Rangers under the new manager? What's different?
I think there's a bit more tempo and aggression in terms of middle to front. There's not as many predictable passes. I think they're getting through the lines quicker. I think they're looking, in general, they're getting more shots when they're scoring more goals, and I just think there's a better kind of all-round look to them. I think there was a kind of malaise had set in with Michael Beale, and I don't think the football was particularly great to watch. There was a softness to the side that certainly is not here now under the new manager, because he's the sort of guy that if you don't perform, you're not going to play regardless of who you are, and nobody's guaranteed their place in the team, and I think that in itself will bring a level of competition and it'll raise the standards of the team. Tonight, it's obviously they're going to be missing Balogun because he wasn't involved in the Europa League squad. they're presumed he would have played, but I doubt there'd be that many changes out with that to their game that they played at the weekend. Obviously, Raskin and Suter are still out.
Yeah, I mean, Sima has done well, Butland's done well, Lee McCulloch, but I think we're starting to see now the quality that Danilo has as well. He could be a big player for Rangers this season.
Yeah, you were just talking to Tomo there about asking the difference of the new manager come in. I think obviously they're passing the ball a little bit quicker, they look a little bit sharper, they look more as a team for me. But the biggest sign for me, Lammers, Dessers, Danilo, didn't start the season particularly well, looked short of confidence. Since he's come in, I think they three have seemed to have a new lease of life. They've got in amongst the goals, their performances have been much better, so I think the fans are starting to get behind them again now they've delivered in the cup final. It's real positive times at the club just now. It seems to have, at the start of the season, I think the fans are a little bit unsure of what direction they were going to go in. A lot of them were saying we weren't really going in the right direction, which was up, meaning getting better. But yeah, even listening to the pre-match conference, the press conference, Sima, we're expecting to win this game tonight, and it just shows you, I think the confidence is starting to flow through everybody individually, and it's coming together on the pitch as a team. And I really fancy it to be a cauldron here tonight. I think it's a really tough game. Their captain, Ladislav Krejci.
Very good.
Impressive stuff. We'll wait for Alistair though, because he's the actual pronunciation.
He's the man.
That's probably wrong.
Come on, lads, I was just trying to impress you there. Come on.
It was suitably impressive.
He's the captain. I think he's out injured tonight, which is a real blow for them and a real positive for Rangers.
Yeah, things starting to build here at Ibrox. The black, the orange of the Europa League signage all round the stadium, all the television cameras down below us here, and there's going to be a big display in the Broomloan stand. That's all set up for that. So an 8 o'clock start, Rangers against Sparta Prague. We've been covering the game out in Greece. Willie Miller, a very good first half result so far, scoreline so far for Aberdeen, 1 apiece, but they've been under intense pressure out there. It's a big test now in this second half for Barry Robson's players.
It is, but I think the shape's been pretty good. If they could just cut out the poor decision making at the back, Rubizic in particular, for the goal, and then another rash challenge thereafter, allowing Paok to get in. But I think it's been a very decent first half performance from Aberdeen, even although these chances have been created. I thought the goal from Duke was fabulous. Just watching it again, it looked as though they've perhaps been practicing that in the training field, with a long kick out to Devlin, a little cushion header, return pass, and then Duke, well, he just kicked that sensationally. I mean, that is top quality striking. The defender's no chance in dealing with that, because he's so strong as well. He's got a really strong frame, Duke. He's held the defender off, he's took the perfect touch, and he slots it home. So I think Barry will be looking for much more of the same in the second half.
Yeah, we heard Rory Loyce from some of the Aberdeen fans prior to kick-off. They were reasonably optimistic, you'd have to say. The manager telling us 800 have made the journey out to Greece, and I managed to pop downstairs here at Ibrox just to see the goal going in. Tremendous celebrations for these Dons fans that have made the journey with that wonderful finish from Duke.
Yeah, absolutely, and deservedly so. It's been a long trip out. They've enjoyed themselves, and they find themselves in a strong position, you have to say, at half time at 1-1. Duke enjoyed it, the supporters enjoyed it, we enjoyed it, and hopefully another one to come in the second half, Kenny.
Well, let's hope so. So far so good for Aberdeen out there in Greece. Let's get back to Rory Loy and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Kenny. We're just underway. Paok kicked off, and they'll be looking to get themselves in front and absolutely seal qualification to the next round, although as it stands, with Frankfurt beating HJK in the draw here, then that would be Aberdeen and Helsinki's respective hopes of reaching the knockouts, slim as they were, over. So Aberdeen need a goal, and here's Constantelias in the centre circle as Paok looked to get on the front foot. He spread it to Vieirinha on the right hand side. The Portuguese, he's put a low cross into the edge of the box, cut out, and it breaks for Shinnie and Barron. Then up to Duke, he's still in his own half, and then he's under-hit the pass to Jamie McGrath, which has allowed Despadov to nip in and win possession. Knocks it back to Trustekong, and Paok on the front foot once more.
Yeah, that was, to be fair, Duke has done really, really well in the game so far, but that was my slight fear. He can be a little bit unpredictable, and Shinnie and Barron do so well under pressure. Give the ball to Duke, and he gives it away under next to no pressure. Disappointing.
Here's Baba, who was a huge threat down that left-hand side along with Tyson in the first half, and here's Constantelias, lines up the long distance shot, and Kel Roos kind of got down slowly and pushed it away past his right hand post. Not sure if that was going in the bottom corner or not, but the goalkeeper wasn't taking any risks.
No, he wasn't. I'm not an expert in goalkeeping, but I think it was maybe going through his head to catch it, and then he's changed his mind at the last minute and thought he'll just tap it round the corner. Decent enough save, but one you'd expect him to make, but corner to defend.
Yeah, there wasn't a great deal of power in the shot. It was low and heading in the general vicinities and of the goal, and Roos decided he needed to take action. Corner from the far side, right footed, comes in into the 6-yard box, into the back post, and there's an effort on it by Kouliarakis, and Kel Roos has to make the save at his near post. Well, he's scored a couple already, Konstantinos Kouliarakis, in this section, and in the end he came close to another one there.
Yeah, Gartenman actually does well. He gets his body between the ball and the player, but he manages to nip his right leg around him. Kouliarakis.
Kirill Despodov is going to take this corner on the other side with the right foot. He goes short to Vieirinha, who's offered an option, then he's gone, pulled it back for Tyson, who's whipped it to the back post. There's a Paok player waiting, he plays it across. Troost-Ekong was lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box, but Aberdeen make the block and then clear down the field. And then Jack McKenzie's hearing after this. He's onto it. He's got 4 Paok players around him. It's Duncan, I beg your pardon. Ryan Duncan. He's twisting and turning. He's found Jamie McGrath. And now Devlin has it. He's in support on the right hand side. No room to cross. Knocks it back to McGrath. He's got room to cross. Doesn't do it though. Opts to give it back to Devlin, who fires in another low cross looking for Duke, but it was comfortable for Kouliarakis this time, who just cleared it out for a throw in on the far side.
Yeah, Duncan does extremely well there. They break away. He finds himself in an incredible amount of space, you have to say, but it took a little bit of time for the Aberdeen players to catch up with him. They eventually do, and they work it relatively well. And they've got a throw in as there's an injury back the pitch for Aberdeen.
Yeah, it looks like a late one from the goalkeeper Katarski. We're just looking at replays on Stefan Gartenman, and his catch, Gartenman, we're looking at it here on the monitor, but he's back up, and the Aberdeen defender limps on and will play on with the Aberdeen throw in midway through the Paok half.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much contact at all. It's one of those where the defender clears it, the opposing player comes across him to block it. It doesn't look like there's a lot of contact there at all.
It's Paok 1, Aberdeen 1. We've played almost 4 minutes of the second half here at the Tumba Stadium in Thessaloniki, and Aberdeen have a throw in just almost in line with the 18-yard line in Paok, and it looks like they're checking something in the background.
No, they booked Barry Robson there.
Oh, they booked him, yeah. Way down in front of us, we were way high up in the stands, and Barry Robson obviously protesting.
Yeah.
And he's been booked. UEFA clamping down on that this season. And eventually this Aberdeen throw will be taken on the far side. It's launched into the box, Rubizic, it's over him, and then it's headed away by Paok, controlled by Despodov, and then back to Troost-Ekong, who plays it up the pitch. Aberdeen send it back, and Duke's in the box. He's making a nuisance of himself, but Troost-Ekong does get something on it, out to Vieirinha, and then Duke comes across and slides in, and he's gets the ball and prevents Vieirinha from playing out, but I think the referee's given the free kick.
Yeah, it was a free kick. I think he does win the ball, but you know, it's one of those. A lot of people would say that's not a free kick. I think he's a little bit out of control. Just getting actually a wee chance to see it again here. Both feet are off the ground. He does touch the ball, but you know, the right decision in the end. The free kick is given, but no action taken.
There's a fair bit of force in that one. Vieirinha on halfway, and he's dinked one in behind. Brandon Thomas is chasing, and he's forced a corner because Richard Jensen had to stoop and make sure he didn't get on the end of it, and he stooped to nod it out for a corner kick to Paok. So the home side picking up where they left off at the end of the first half, putting on the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they got themselves back to 1 each over in Germany against Frankfurt, and they conceded from a corner, so they'll want to try and avoid that situation arising again.
And here is Despodov, and he's going to take it with the right foot, run up, right foot. This one's low, and it's not a great one because Conor Barron is there at the front post to head it away, but it's back to Constantelias, who is bobbing and weaving, but he's a long way from goal. He's in the middle of the pitch, right footed pass to the left hand side, and then Tyson plays it to the left hand side, and the cross comes in towards the near post where Baba was waiting, but Aberdeen get a foot in, and then Duncan takes a touch into his own box and swipes the right boot at it to clear it up to the halfway line. Vieirinha collects, stabs it forward for Troost Kong. Paok now in the Aberdeen half on the right hand side with Despodov, who got their comeback up and running. Pataudry with his first touch off the bench, and he set up Tyson's equaliser this evening, and they try to find him in the box, but it's cleared by Aberdeen. Down to the halfway line, Kouliarakis heads it, McGrath's underneath it, controls it on the chest, it's running towards the touchline, he's holding off Constantelias and then rattles the ball off of Despodov. It is Kirill Despodov, and it's out for an Aberdeen throw in their own half. 1-1, 51 minutes played here at the Toomba Stadium, and it has got marginally quieter in here. I can hear myself think.
Yes, indeed. I can hear myself think also for the first time this evening. But the whistles start there.
Oh, that was almost a really clumsy throw in from Jensen. He gave it to Rubezic, but almost straight to the feet of Thomas, and Rubezic was under severe pressure. He's actually done well, the Serbian defender. He's played it out forward towards Duke, who's then put in a bit of a late challenge on Paok player down on the near side, but the referee's waved play on.
Yeah, he's lucky there because he's not even interested in the ball, and he just goes over and gives Vieirinha a whack. It was his shoulder, right enough, but I mean, there's no intention of playing the ball. He simply wants to go in and knock the opposition player over, and Vieirinha goes down. Luckily doesn't make too big a deal of it.
Here is Vieirinha, fizzes it into the feet of Thomas. His touch wasn't the best, or maybe it was a pass in fairness, and he gives it to Schwab, and it's out to the left hand side. Then the Rahman Baba nudges it on one, and it's Tyson hugging the left touchline, moves it infield to Constantelias, thinks about the cross, he's going to deliver it to Despodov, who just can't get a touch on the edge of the 6-yard box, which means it goes through to Kelarus. And Aberdeen breathe a massive sigh of relief. 52, nearly 53 played in fact. Paok 1, Aberdeen 1.
Yes indeed, Jack McKenzie just ever so slightly deeper than the rest, which means he needs to track the run. He does enough to put him off. That could have been potential danger for Aberdeen. You can see there, oh well, I can see, sorry, apologies. Jack McKenzie, as I rightly said, was 3-4 yards deeper than the rest, which meant he had to go with the runner, and a little bit fortunate that he doesn't get anything on at the striker.
Paok coming forward, they want 4 wins from 4 in this group, having won 3-2 over in Helsinki in their opener, scored a late goal to beat Frankfurt here in stoppage time, and of course that late comeback as well at Pataudry. They scored late against Helsinki as well, so they'll keep going right to the end. Here's Tyson on the left hand touchline midway through Aberdeen territory. He's come infield, he's tried to jink it into the box for Thomas. Again, Aberdeen get an interception. It's broke for Duke in the centre circle. He's held off one challenge, he's now out the centre circle in the Paok half. He gives it to McGrath, but he doesn't have much support. Jamie McGrath, he's nudged it forward a few yards, and he's had to go backwards to Barron. Barron is looking for a pass and then goes back to Jensen, gives it back to Barron, and it's now allowed Paok to come out. They were retreating, but they're now pressing forward, and it's a clumsy pass from Jensen to Barron. He does well to keep the ball, gives it to McGrath, who then loses out to Vieirinha, knocks it to Despodov, and Aberdeen have actually got the free kick. Vieirinha fouled Jamie McGrath according to the Albanian referee Shushin Shaka, and Aberdeen will take that all day long.
Yeah, I think the referee's signalling that Vieirinha goes through Jamie McGrath to win the ball, although he does take the ball, which I agree with. I think that was the case, and Aberdeen, Conor Barron, in my opinion, Conor Barron and Graham Shinney have both performed pretty well tonight. There's been times where they've been under pressure, but their ball retention and calmness on the ball has been excellent. Anytime I see Conor Barron, he's one of Aberdeen's best players. It's not to say in the times I haven't seen him he's maybe been off the boil, but he's been excellent anytime I've watched him. I think he's been excellent again tonight.
Duncan's free kick with the left foot into the Paok box. They get a head on it though, and then it's lashed up the pitch by Thomas the striker, and Paok are going to get the free kick because Jensen's clattered into the Paok defender, who's down writhing next to the penalty spot in the own box, and the physio is sprinting on. Get the legs pumping, the physio there, charging on. It's Kouliarakis who's down.
Yeah, he's holding his head, and Rubezic is holding his head, so I would imagine there would be a clash of heads in there somewhere, and are coming together. He actually does unbelievably well, Kouliarakis, to win the header, and Rubezic just comes through the back, totally out of control, almost sideways in the air, and headbutts him in the back of the head. Doesn't mean it, but still looks very, very sore.
Yeah, he's down in the box, and that would be a blow. He's just 19 years old, and he's got such composure and ability, Kouliarakis, for a young centre half. Plays on the left side, scored against Helsinki and Frankfurt. He's got 5 grease caps as well at just 19, and he's getting some water poured onto his head now and the forehead rubbed. I'm sure he'll be okay, but can't take any risks with head injuries especially, and he's still on the deck just now. Paok, of course, looking on course to get through this section and try and equal or better their run in the Conference League, the inaugural Conference League 2 seasons ago, when they got all the way to the quarter-finals before losing out to Marseille 3-1 on aggregate. Dimitri Payet scoring an absolutely sensational goal at the Velodrome in that tie. Was nominated for a Puskas award, volley from the edge of the box, and that knocked Paok out of the competition. They'll be looking for a similar run here. They've got out of a group stage in Europe 5 times in the last 15 years. 4 of those were in the Europa League, so they've got great pedigree in this competition. Cooley and the Europa League and the Conference League, and now Koulirakis is back up, but he's had to go off the field and he'll be allowed back on once play resumes. Kotarski, the goalkeeper for Paok, will take the free kick in his own box. There's no one offering a short option, so he's going to go long with the right foot. Gartenmann is there for Aberdeen, wins the header. Shinnie's going to win the second ball, but it's just glanced off the top of his head and breaks for Schwab, and then gives it to Singaras, the midfielder. His forward pass is cut out, it breaks back to him though. Passes backwards to Vieirinha, who was in the Portugal squad that won Euro 2016. 37 years old, hugely experienced. Scored at Pataudry, of course. And now it's right to the left with Rahman Baba. Paok patient, not moving the ball too quickly at this stage, waiting for their opening. It's gone across now back to Vieirinha, who's just inside the Aberdeen half, and he's pinged with the right foot. Huge switch of play. That's wonderful out to Tyson on the left hand side, and he's 1-on-1 with Devlin. He tries to pass in field to Konstantelis, who touches away from Gartenmann and goes down looking for the penalty, and the referee has he pointed for a goal kick there, I think. Yeah, he was pointing in the general direction of the spot on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was hard to make out, but he's pointed for the goal kick, and I think that would have been extremely harsh. Yeah, it certainly looked at on first viewing that Konstantelis takes a heavy touch and just goes to ground in the hope that the referee might point to the spot. Gartenmann's foot is relatively close to his when he plants it, but I don't think there's enough contact, anywhere near enough contact for Konstantelis to go down. The referee had the finger in the ear, so obviously they'll be checking it as they do, or maybe as they do. They didn't check the Jack McKenzie incident at Pataudry, so now the referee does have the hand to the ear. Gartenmann's having a word in the referee's ear saying, I got the ball, or I didn't take the man, as he touched it round him, and the referee has got the whistle to the lips. It looks like he's going to signal to play on here. He's still waiting. We're all waiting. The players are waiting. The fans are growing increasingly restless now. Shinnie's going across. I think Konstantelis' reaction tells you everything. He almost looks embarrassed, which tells me that there's no contact, and I'd be very surprised if this results in a penalty kick. Well, now the players are coming together, and this delay is, it's upping the angst among the players. Aberdeen are having a go at the ref. The Paok players are coming in and saying their piece, and the referee's just kind of losing a wee bit of control here, and it's just the time that it's taken to check this penalty. Well, they're looking to see if there was contact. So when Gartenmann plants his foot, play on. Goal kick to Aberdeen. So a sigh of relief for Barry Robson and Steve Agnew there down in the Aberdeen dugout, way down in front of us. But the right decision. Yeah, it did take a while. We've seen replays, and as Rory described so eloquently, Konstantelis took a heavy touch round Gartenmann. It went out for a goal kick, and then he hit the deck. And Dante Polvara is doing his stretches down in front of us, so Aberdeen are going to make a change. It bounces, and Paok clear to the right hand side. Jensen's stepped in and got something on it, but it's out for a throw in, and Aberdeen are going to make a double change because Johnny Hayes is also there. So Johnny Hayes and Polvara coming on for Ryan Duncan, as his number is going up on the board. So Ryan Duncan is going to be one of the players making way for Aberdeen, and Ryan Duncan applauds the 800 fans of Aberdeen away to our right hand side as he traipses off. Good shift from him. Yep, can be happy with his night's work. He's helped the team immensely and shown good composure at times. And Johnny Hayes is going to come on, and it's Graham Shinnie who's making way for Dante Polvara. So that's an interesting one. Shinnie's played every single game, so maybe just trying to look after him. Celtic to come on Sunday. Big huge embrace from the manager for Graham Shinnie as he comes off, and then Craig Sampson comes out and gives him a hug. Steve Agnew shakes him by the hand. On we go. So Hayes and Polvara on for Shinnie and Duncan for Aberdeen. We've played nearly 16 minutes of the second half here at the Toomba Stadium. and it's still Paok 1, Aberdeen 1.
Yes, Chinny's gone off, passed the captain's armband on to Johnny Hayes, who's just come on the pitch, and it looks like Polvara is going to tuck in there where Shinny was, next to Connor Barron.
And that's a poor touch from Constantelius, a rare one. He does manage to keep the ball in, but then it's cleared, but only as far as Tyson on the left hand side. He's coming up towards the edge of the Aberdeen box. He's got a lot of red jerseys in front of him, but he knocks it back to Constantelius, who jinks in towards the middle of the pitch, looking to get a crosser shot in on the right foot. He moves it to Villarinha, who switched it back to the left hand side, where Rahman Baba will take a touch. His cross is blocked by Devlin, and out for a throw in on the far side as we sit in the main stand, and the Paok Ultras strike up another tune, urging their team on. Here's Villarinha out to Despadov, right hand touchline. He's come infield looking for some space, knocks it back to Trustekong. Right for the pass along the grass to Villarinha. Pass, gets it back, and he pings it with the right foot, and he's actually pinged it behind his defenders, and they have to go and collect. Kouliarakis seems to have shaken off that head injury after that clash of heads with Slobodan Rubezic. And here come Paok through Singaras, midway through the Aberdeen half, middle of the pitch, out to the left hand side. Tyson and Baba are lurking. It's Tyson with the ball. He's just walking forward as Johnny Hayes stands in front of him, gets it back from Baba. No spaces at the moment, and they've switched the play in the air to the right hand side in Villarinha. Low pass 10 yards or so to Schwab, who's crossed it with the left foot. Rubezic gets a forehead on it, and it pings out to the left hand side, and then Tyson gets it, and a challenge from Hayes, and he's been penalised, and he's furious that he's been penalised, but it will be a free kick to Paok, almost in level with the Aberdeen 18, and a yellow card comes out for Johnny Hayes as well, and that'll be frustrating for him because he didn't have the best game off the bench in the reverse fixture where he made the mistake for the Paok equaliser, and he's clearly frustrated, Rory.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't win the ball, the Paok player gets there first and he wipes him out. You know, I can totally understand why the referee's booked him, and the problem is he's on Tyson's side as well, who's constantly running at him, so he's going to need to be careful from now on, and this is a dangerous position for Paok, you have to say.
Yeah, free kick on the left hand side, as I say. It's almost level with the Aberdeen 18. Paok are going to make a couple of changes the next chance they get as well, and Aberdeen have some defending to do here, and the referee eventually blows the whistle, and Paok will take this free kick from the far side. It's Despadov with the right foot into the 6-yard box. Kouliarakis is up there, and then it's missed at the back post by William Trustekong and goes behind for an Aberdeen goal kick. Paok can't believe they've not scored there.
Well, they should have scored. Kouliarakis just drifts off the back of Richard Jensen, who finds himself underneath the ball. He flicks it on, and Trustekong just cannot get there at the back post. He's behind Nicky Devlin. He's actually in an offside position, to be fair. But I think Kouliarakis should actually do better with the initial one. I think it's Rubezic actually that gets there first and puts him off it. Yeah, magnificent touch. That should be a corner. Dangerous ball in.
So Paok go to their bench. They bring on striker Mombwana Ali Samata. I think it's Brandon Thomas who's gone off. And they've also brought on Magomed Ozdoyev, the Russian midfielder for Karas Singaras. Ozdoyev, 3 goals in his last 4, including at the weekend against Olympiacos, so a man in form. And they've got so much quality on the bench. They've made 6 changes from that win against Olympiacos, and still putting out a side littered with experience at this level, quality. Here's Polvara for Aberdeen though in the Paok half. He's put it along the surface to the right hand side where Hayes has it. And he's tried to force it down to Devlin. Baba makes the block, throw in to the feet of Duke on the right hand side of the box for Aberdeen. He's got the support of Devlin, knocks it back. He's just in from the right hand side. It's Hayes, cross in. Devlin was in at the near post, and it's bouncing about. Duke controls it on the edge of the box. Foot in though from Constantelius, and Paok win the ball, and this is where they're dangerous because Tyson's gone beyond. He's up to the halfway line and he's knocking it in behind for Samata now. Ali Samata's chasing it. Gartenman puts a sliding tackle in. It comes back off the Paok striker Samata, and the free kick is given against Jensen. He initially won the ball, I thought, but then it's come back off him, and then he's got in a tangle of legs, and Samata's gone down, and it's a free kick almost on the byline for Paok.
Yeah, look, it doesn't make a great deal of difference. I don't think it's a free kick myself. I think you're exactly right, Thomas. The follow through, he trips him up. I mean, corner free kick, which is right next to the corner flag, it doesn't make a great deal of difference, but I still think it's the wrong decision. But Aberdeen need to be switched on at these set pieces because that last one was far too close for comfort.
and it's from a similar position except 10 yards further forward, almost. It's about 7 or 8 yards diagonally in from the corner flag out on the far side down Aberdeen's right, and here comes the free kick. It's fizzed in right on top of Kelroos, who has to push it away. I don't know if that was a shot or just trying to cause some havoc, but it was straight on top of Kelroos, and he's got a big right arm up.
Yeah, I think he was just putting it into an area right on top of the goalkeeper, get players in front of him and hope that he flaps it or it drops, or sometimes they go straight in the back of the net, but he does well, Kelroos.
Paok 1, Aberdeen 1, 66 on the clock, live here on Sports Sound of BBC Radio Scotland. Desperova's going to take this corner for Paok with a right foot. Again, it's in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's headed out towards the other side. Aberdeen under severe pressure here. Tyson helps it back in with the right foot to the back post. Troost-Ekong gets up, and then there's a flick on, and it's a goal for Paok. The substitute, Mbwana Ali Samata, makes a huge impact. He collects the flick on, and he just nods it past Kelroos into the bottom corner, and the pressure finally tells for Paok. They lead Aberdeen by 2-1.
And Barry Robson will be really, really disappointed in the manner of the goal. You know, a header, a couple of yards out, and Samata, the substitute, gobbles it up, heads it into the bottom corner. Just as I was thinking, I wonder how many minutes Miovski's got in his legs, because at one each he could go on and grab a goal, but it's from a corner again. Really disappointing. The second phase of a corner, it comes back into the box. Paok win the initial one through Troost-Ekong, and then he manages to get between two defenders and glance it into the bottom corner. Disappointing from Aberdeen's point of view. Now they've got a mountain to climb to try and get back into this match.
Well, it's similar to what happened in Frankfurt, and let's quickly get the thoughts of Willie Miller on that goal.
Yeah, it's just the organisation, isn't it? The defensive organisation from Aberdeen. You know, the ball comes in from the right-hand side. They try to reorganise. They don't pick up. You know, it's one at the back post, headed back into the middle of the goal, and the substitute Samata is pretty free. So it's about organising, it's about defending, and unfortunately Aberdeen have let themselves down.
Yeah, and a mountain to climb now. The crowd are on their feet, but Aberdeen have a free kick, and it's about 30 yards from goal, central position, and they'll take that as a chance to try and get an instant response.
The Paok players aren't happy because Samata runs forward from kick-off, and he thinks that Rubezic blocks him quite aggressively, which it didn't seem to me that he did. He goes out of his way. It is a shoulder from Rubezic. You could argue it's a foul, certainly no more than that.
Well, the Paok players still protesting to Shushin Chaka, that Albanian referee, but he's telling them he's having none of it. And now Aberdeen are also preparing another substitution down in front of us. Barry Robson, Steve Agnew giving out instructions. It looks like, is it Miovski? Yeah, he's appeared between the coaches. It is Bojan Miovski, so he's going to get a run out here in the final 20 minutes. And it's an Aberdeen free kick, probably too far out to have a shot. The boos rain in at the Toomba Stadium, and it's Jamie McGrath, and he's going to have a strike with the right foot. Oh, it's in the bottom corner. It's a sensational goal from Jamie McGrath, nearly 30 yards out, right-footed free kick, bottom corner beyond Katarski. Absolutely brilliant. Aberdeen are level. It's Paok 2, Aberdeen 2.
Well, knuckleball McGrath breathes life into Aberdeen's European hopes once again as their star man Bojan Miovski prepares to come off the bench. He catches it sweet as a nut, and it wobbles its way into the bottom corner beyond the reach of Katarski. Takes the acclaim of his teammates, and quite rightly so. It is game on as Bojan Miovski is stripped and ready to come on.
Oh, what a hit that was from Jamie McGrath. I said it was probably too far out for the shot, but my, did he prove me wrong. It's a brilliant hit, brilliant dip. I don't know if you would question the goalkeeper, but Willie, what did you make of that one?
I think you would question the goalkeeper, but take nothing away from Jamie McGrath. He gets it up, he gets it over. I mean, it's so far out as well, isn't it? The goalkeeper sees it all the way. I think he must move his feet. He must get something on it, but it's a magnificent strike from McGrath. I think the goalkeeper actually does get his hand on it. We're just watching a replay there, but it ends up in the back of the net. And what a response from Aberdeen. Quite magnificent.
Brilliant from Aberdeen, but they're under pressure immediately again here as Baba comes down the left He's in the corner of the box, given away. Duke turns in a telephone box area, and he then wins a free kick, and the home fans are beginning to get irate at the referee.
Well, I really hope that Barry Robson doesn't change his mind on the Miovski substitution, because they've got an opportunity now, and he's clearly fit enough to play 20 minutes because he was stripped at 2-1. They've got an opportunity, in my opinion, to go and try and nick a winner. You know, they're not going to get a heavy defeat now. They've shown that. It's 2-2 with 20 minutes to go. Throw them on, and if you can nick a winner, then you just never know with a trip to Finland next.
And it's still 1-0 to Frankfurt, which means a draw would still send Paok through with a couple of games to spare and knock Aberdeen out. But if they could get a winner, it would revive things going into the final 2 games. Still a tall order, but even still, it's been a brave performance. They've been under the cosh for long spells, and Paok once again come forward. Rahman Baba fires it into Ali Samata, collects on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's marshalled by Jensen. He's forced back out to Baba on the left hand side. He puts the cross back in, blocked, goes all the way back out to the left hand side. Tyson fires it into the middle of the pitch, and here come Paok. It's out to the right hand side, and Villarinha, he's going to drop the shoulder and put the cross in. Samata's in there. He's a big striker. Aberdeen cleared it, but only to the edge of the box. Then there's a block comes in from Palvara, struck by Constantelias. I think that took a deflection as it went over Kilarus. His crossbar, it has indeed. Corner Paok. Paok 2, Aberdeen 2, 72 played.
Well, they've looked so vulnerable from corners in this second half, Aberdeen, and with Gartenmann, Rubezic and Jensen back there, you would like to think they would be able to take care of these situations better. They're going to need to here.
They are indeed, and it's going to be a corner from the far side. Right-footed, right on top of Kilarus, who gets a punch on it, a strong punch. It's out to the edge of the box where Villarinha plays it first time with the right foot. Kouliarakis is going to send it back in. It's actually Kouliarakis is in the box, he's headed it back across, and then it's cleared by Aberdeen back to Villarinha. Paok back to probing the Aberdeen back line, trying to ask some questions. Here's Constantelias driving through the middle of the pitch. He's going to chip it into the back post where Kouliarakis is waiting. He gets something on it, and then it bounces into the arms of Kilarus. Penalty. It's a penalty to Paok. The referee points to the spot. I'm not sure if it's for a foul or a handball as the deflection as Kouliarakis got in round the back, but Paok have a penalty. McGrath can't believe it. He looks absolutely stunned.
Well, in first viewing, Thomas, I think he just falls over. McGrath's stretching for the ball, and it looks to me like he just hits the deck far too easily. Willie might get a better view of it back in the studio, but I think he just falls over.
Now, we're looking at a replay here, and there's minimal contact, really.
No, there is no contact. That is outrageous dive, and he should be booked for that.
Well, this is the test of VAR, isn't it? Because the replays don't appear to show any contact from what we can see here. Now,
that is embarrassing. I'm sorry, that is embarrassing from Constant. That's blatant cheating to try and win a penalty, which he's been given. But if this doesn't get overturned, I will be shocked.
This is what it was brought in for.
Yeah, it's got to be overturned, doesn't it? There's no contact whatsoever. I mean, there's clear daylight between the defender and the attacker there. It's Jamie McGrath. And he just goes to ground. He actually gets a touch on it and just dives. So there is no contact. So surely VAR will pick that up.
Well, we're still waiting here, but this is exactly what it was brought in for. Clear and obvious errors. The referee has clearly thought there was contact there. He's pointed to the spot, and it's up to the VAR officials now. Daniele Cifi is the VAR from Italy, and it's up to him to try and help the referee out, because he's standing here on the pitch. We're all still waiting. The whistles are raining down. No sign that he's going to look at the monitor at this stage. Stefan Schwab has the ball in his arms. He's ready to take the penalty. He'll plant it on the spot if he gets the opportunity, but we're still waiting here. Obviously poring over replays.
Yeah, sorry Thomas, Kouliarakis has got to be booked for that. And I don't know why it's taken them so long. There is
Willie,
such a gap.
You've already said daylight.
Absolutely, there's no contact, there's daylight.
And here he goes, he's going to the monitor. He's going to the monitor, the Albanian referee, which surely means that he's going to overturn this, because we've all seen replays and there's no contact, and he's now been invited to the monitor. That usually means he'll overturn his on-field decision. But we'll wait and see. He can't take anything for granted. He's across now, down in front of us, looking at the VAR screen. And what we'll be looking at is Jamie McGrath sliding in. Konstantinos Kouliarakis coming in round the back. He almost gets a touch on the ball and then hits the deck. And the referee thought that was a foul. I mean, the look on Jamie McGrath's face said it all, because he was completely and utterly dumbfounded. He was looking about, and he just couldn't believe it. And here we are being shown pictures of what the referee is looking at here as well. And here he comes. He's away from the monitor. He's walking back onto the pitch. He just makes the monitor, and he's cancelled it. No penalty. It's overturned. It'll be a goal kick to Aberdeen. And you have to say, it's taken its time, Rory, but VAR's done its job there.
Well, it's done its job properly and effectively if the referee books Konstantelius. I cannot fathom how on earth he hasn't ran straight to Konstantelius and booked him. And he's not going to. And that is an absolute outrage.
Well, Aberdeen, I was going to say Aberdeen survive. I suppose they do, in the sense that they thought they might be facing a penalty, but it would have been very unfair had Stefan Schwab had the opportunity to put Paok 3-2 up, and we saw what he did in stoppage time at Vitoria and indeed at Tynecastle.
To be fair, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on the ref. If he's bound by the rules and cannot produce a yellow card because it's went to VAR, then I stand corrected on that one. However, I think in those circumstances that rule should be looked at, because diving so obviously to try and win a penalty, the player should be punished for that. Do appreciate though that because it's went to VAR, the referee might be tied and been able to do that.
Here come Paok. Here is Kouliarakis out on the left-hand touchline, the centre half. He's going to cross from deep with the left foot, and it's onto the head of his striker, who was free in the 6-yard box. Rubezic was in no man's land, but the header inexplicably is fired wide. It was Schwab who was in there, and he should have put Paok 3-2 in front.
Yeah, he runs deep. He runs from deep from midfield, Stefan Schwab, and it's a wonderful ball in. Really, really good ball in. And Rubezic gets caught underneath it. Schwab's header goes wayward as finally, after about 5 minutes of standing waiting around on VAR, Miovski's going to come onto the pitch.
Yeah, and it's Jamie McGrath, whose tremendous free kick had Aberdeen level here at the Toomba Stadium. It's 2-2. We've played 78 minutes, so 12 left of the 90, but there will be time added, especially after the VAR checks we've had on that most recent one. So Tyson cancelling out Duke's opener in the first half, and then Samatta putting Paok in front. Aberdeen levelling just 3 minutes later with Jamie McGrath's long-range free kick. Here's Konstantelias turning in the Aberdeen half, but Paok have been given a free kick. Samatta's gone down. Paok's second goal scorer just outside the centre circle, and he's still down, and Paok will have the free kick.
Yeah, I think he's winded. Rubezic knows what he's doing. Samatta jumps in the air, and Rubezic just ducks and pushes into him, and it causes him to fall quite heavily.
Here's Baba, moves it to the left-hand side. Schwab collects, nudges it back to Tyson. He's going to have a little run towards the box, gives it to Schwab, and then it's deflected off Garton. Man breaks for Barron, who then plays with the right foot, looking to get it into the path of Bojan Miovski, who's on the park with Duke. And here come Paok. Viorinya, right-footed pass along the grass, and here's Osmoyev, the Russian midfielder off the bench. He's put it along the grass to the left-hand side, and Tyson is again puts the foot down. He's into the box, gives it to Schwab, gets it back. It's Tyson, blocked by Rubezic from the edge of the 6-yard area. It's still bouncing about, and eventually Rubezic can get it behind for a corner. But my Tyson, when he gets going, he's so hard to stop.
And what makes it difficult is as soon as he enters the box, he's moving at such pace with such quick feet that any touch could lead to a penalty kick, a legitimate penalty kick. But Aberdeen defend that one well.
And it's a corner on the far side, delivered with the right foot again into the 6-yard box. Again, there's a head on it from Paok, but it was well over the crossbar. Kouliarakis, I think, is in there.
Schwab.
Schwab again, he loves to get into the penalty area. The midfielder, and that one was comfortably over the bar. Well, Aberdeen 10 minutes from getting themselves a point. They need all three if they're to stay alive in terms of qualification. At the moment, a draw would be enough for Paok to seal their place in the next round, with Eintracht Frankfurt currently 1-0 up against Helsinki in Finland. That is of course Aberdeen's next game in this section, away to Helsinki at the end of the month, followed by the home match against Eintracht Frankfurt 3 days before the League Cup final against Rangers in mid-December. Konstantelias slips, gets back up, gives it to Tyson, He's coming up towards the left corner of the box again. He gives the pass out to Baba, drills the low cross in. Hayes is there to knock it away, but only as far as Tyson. Back to Baba on the left hand side, cross to Ozdoyev, then a header by Tyson, pulls it back for Schwab, but Samata gets in the way, and then it breaks now for Despodov, then back to Vieirinha, Schwab back to Ozdoyev on the right hand side of the box, but there was a flag up for offside against Paok. It's Paok 2, Aberdeen 2, 81 minutes played here at the Toomba Stadium. And there's a double change coming here for Paok as they go to their bench in the closing stages. Andrea Zivkovic, their top scorer with 9 goals, he's now on the pitch. And the other substitution is Tomasz Kedziora, the centre half, Polish centre half, international player. He's now on as well. Looks like he's going to go at right back though in place of Vieirinha, the captain, who traipses off. So Paok going to their bench. Zivkovic, well, he's not the kind of player you want to see. Serbian international, played at the last 2 World Cups and 9 goals this season. On to try and make something, and Aberdeen put it down the pitch. Paok throw in their own half. Kedziora throws it to Sekong. On Majowski goes to close down Kuliarakis, but the defender just gets there in time. Paok, well, they want the goal that would absolutely assure them of their place in the next round. Frankfurt just the 1 goal up at the moment in Helsinki. Aberdeen win the ball in midfield, and it's Polvara battling. Paok get a foot in, and it's broken back for Nicky Devlin. The flag's gone up, I think maybe for handball against Nicky Devlin as he tried to control that on the chest, and it's a Paok free kick just inside their own half. They get on with it quickly. It was Ozdoyev, the Russian, former Zenit St. Petersburg player. He passes it across, and it's now on the right hand side, and Zivkovic, the Serbian international, left foot along the grass on the halfway line to Kuliarakis, who's stepping into the game once more, the 19-year-old centre half, who thought he had a penalty, having gone down.
I don't think he did, Thomas. I don't think he did. I think as soon as he did it and the penalty was given, he knew exactly what would happen.
Paok probing at the edge of the box, Barron wins it, and then he's giving it to Polvara, who's looking up. He doesn't see any options in front of him. His space is closed down. He lashes it up the right hand side towards Miovski, but it doesn't go to him initially, and it breaks off a Paok player to Miovski, and then Konstantelias wins the ball back, and then Aberdeen have to make the challenge on the left hand touchline midway through their own half, out for a throw in. Paok, you just sense they've scored a few late goals in this section already. In every game they've scored a late goal so far. Aberdeen will desperately hope it's they who can do that this time. Cross into the box, and again it's allowed to bounce. Maybe Richard Jensen got the shout from Kelarus, but Zivkovic was lurking.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's another goal in this game, but I genuinely believe that Aberdeen will get another chance, and fingers crossed it's themselves that can take it.
Kelarus has just put this out the pitch. I think he's maybe done it deliberately, I think, because there's a Paok player down. Rahman Baba is limping, and I think he's going to be withdrawn for Suarez anyway. Yeah, Paok go to their bench. So Rafa Suarez, who started the game on the left hand side at Pitaudry, is replaced. He's coming on to replace Rahman Baba, who's been outstanding down the left hand side, you have to say. Former Chelsea player, played 23 times for them, once worth 20 million quid, and you can see potentially why with his performance this evening, Rory.
Yeah, some really nice touches, intelligent player down that left hand side, got into some nice positions, dovetailed with Tyson really, really well at times, especially in that first half. And in fairness to Barry Robson, he's managed to tweak things so that Tyson was a little bit quieter on this half.
Kelarus has the ball in his hands in his box, and he's going to launch this forward. Duk and Miovski, and Sokler is now on as well for Aberdeen. He's replaced Duk, and Paok win the header. Konstantelias loses out to Jensen. It breaks now for McKenzie. Hayes is under pressure, forced back to Rubizic on the edge of his own box. Then he's got time and space to roll it across with the right foot to Gartenman, who looks up and he's going to try and hit Miovski or Sokler. It's not the best ball, and it's picked off by Zivkovic, but his touch wasn't great, and Sokler won it back. Now it's with McKenzie on the left hand side. He's got a space to run into in the Paok half. He's crossed it. Miovski was there, but it doesn't beat the man in front of Miovski, Kuliarakis, who heads it away. And now Paok break with Samata who scored their second goal. He's over the halfway line. He's forced to pass it back to Sivkovic, who's dancing into the Aberdeen half. He comes in from the right hand side, gives it to Ozdoyev, and then to Konstantelias out to the left now. Paok menacing on this left hand side. There's Tyson, left hand corner of the box, goes for a goal with the right foot, and Kel Roos palms it out right into the danger area. I was rather fortunate there was no one in black and white to turn that into the net, or collect it and turn it into the net.
Yeah, he should have caught that. I don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever. It looked comfortable enough, it's central enough for him just to get his gloves around it and catch the ball. But it's turned out well for Aberdeen, who now have a throw in high up the pitch.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We've got action to come here, concluding this match in Greece. Rangers in Europa League action against Sparta Prague at Ibrox. We'll bring you that as soon as we're done here. But Aberdeen, 3.5 minutes of the 90 left. They're 2-2 with Paok in Group G. They need a goal to keep their qualification hopes alive, and how they would love to win this. They have a throw-in line with the Paok 18-yard line. Richard Jensen is going to fling this into the box.
Yeah, well, I heard Willie Miller on the radio not so long ago say he doesn't know if Aberdeen have even won first contact from the millions of these situations they've had previously. What a time it would be to do it now.
Here we go, he throws it in onto the edge of the 6-yard box, and they don't win the first contact. It's headed out by Paok. Barron's going after it, but Konstantelias wins it, and he's jinked away from it, and he's giving it to Tyson, who's on the rampage down the left. Aberdeen in bother here. Tyson comes in on the right foot, he's on the edge of the box, comes away, takes the right footed shot, blocked by Nicky Devlin. Aberdeen got numbers back. Thought he would have pulled the trigger earlier, Tyson, when he first opened up for the shot, but he took too long, and Devlin got the block in at the second attempt. Now it's played up to Sokler, who lays it off to Barron, who tries to play it back in behind for Sokler, but he doesn't have the pace to get away from Kouliarakis, who knocks it to Suarez and then back into the goalkeeper. And Paok come forward now over the halfway line. Here's Doyev, knocks it to Konstantelias on the right hand side. He's coming infield, the pink boots, right hand corner of the box, cross in. Rubicic puts a big left leg out, but it's up in the air. Samata, it bounces on the edge of the 6-yard box. Aberdeen can't get rid of it, and now it falls for Barron, who just puts the right boot through it, launches it over the halfway line eventually. Rubicic got first contact on that, and then it just was allowed to bounce second time around. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a goalkeeping expert by any stretch of the imagination, but for me it's in the air long enough for Kel Roos to come out and grab the ball. And here come Paok, switch of play to the right hand side. Sivkovic, he's one-on-one with Mackenzie, he's put it to the right hand side of the box. The cutback's attempted, blocked, and then it's cleared, but again it's only as far as Sivkovic, who goes after it. It's midway through the Aberdeen half, just 7 or 8 yards in from the right hand touchline. Gives Konstantelias, who's pinged a right footed switch out to Tyson, who's controlled it wonderfully on the left hand touchline. He's slipped in Suarez on the underlap, but he's faced back away from goal, gives it to Tyson, who takes it round one Aberdeen player, gets to the byline and then wins the corner as Aberdeen make the block, and it's eventually gone behind. He lets it bounce a couple of times, and it's a Paok corner. Nearly played 89 minutes, it's 2-2.
Yeah, my heart goes in my mouth every time Paok win a corner, I have to say. They've had a lot of them tonight, and they've looked a danger from every single one.
The Romanian manager Razvan Lucescu is out, yelling his players on. He's desperate for his team to score. High corner delivered to the back post. Trustekong gets his head on it, comes off an Aberdeen thigh, it's bouncing about, back heel comes in from the edge of the 6-yard box, and it breaks for an Aberdeen player. It's passed out to the left hand side, and then it's lashed clear by Jack Mackenzie all the way through to the Paok goalkeeper Katarski, who collects it in the centre circle, nudges it to Konstantelias, who's in the centre circle, chips the right footed pass. It's not the best, but Tyson scrambles back and controls it. It's in field now. Left footed cross comes in towards Samata, but Jensen clears with the left foot up to the centre circle. Aberdeen holding on as we tick towards the 90 minutes. Here is Zivkovic on the right hand side. He's going to take on Mackenzie, gets by him, he gets to the byline, tries the chip cross, and Mackenzie gets back and makes a sliding tackle out for a corner. Aberdeen defending for their lives. Paok 2, Aberdeen 2.
Yeah, he's hurt himself there, Jack Mackenzie, but he defends the situation really well. Zivkovic thinks he's past him, but he recovers well, and the ball goes out for a corner. But I mean, they do not look convincing. The last corner led to a whole-mouth scramble, and they just do not look convincing from these corners, Aberdeen.
And here is the delivery, left-footed, comes in and gets right on top of Kel Roos. He gets two hands to the edge of the box. Konstantelias with a first-time shot, which flies wide of the right-hand post. And Aberdeen breathe a sigh of relief. 7 added minutes to play here at the Toomba Stadium. 7 minutes for Aberdeen to either hold on or score a winner, which would keep their faint hopes of the knockout stages alive.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed they can get another opportunity in the game, because they've been ruthless. The 2 chances, real chances they've had, I don't even know if you can call McGrath a chance. They've ended up in goals.
Kel Roos goes long with the goal kick up towards Miovski. Trostekong wins the header into the Aberdeen half. Rubizic wins the header, and then he's scrambling with Samata, gets the second header after it bounced, and then Ozdoyev controls things, knocks it to Tyson, who's running from deep. He's up towards the left-hand corner of the box. Polvara puts the foot in, he gets the ball. No, the free kick's given on the left-hand corner of the box. Dante Polvara, it's going to be booked as well, I think, and this is in a very, very dangerous position for Aberdeen.
It is, and Tyson, as I touched on before, any touch at all when he's running at that pace, Tyson is going to knock him over, and it did look a foul. Polvara's pleading his innocence, but it looked a foul, and it absolutely is a foul. He clips him and he goes down, and it's just right on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it looks perfect for a right footer to swing one in.
Yeah, we've played 1.5 minutes of the 7 added. Paok 2, Aberdeen 2, live on Sports Sounds. Tense moments for Aberdeen as they try to defend what they have. Tyson is over this free kick on the right hand corner of the box, and he's going to take a strike here. Tyson fires it in, it's blocked in front of the goal by Slobodan Rubizic, and it goes behind for a Paok corner.
Yeah, he doesn't quite catch it. I think he tries to do similar to what Jimmy McGrath did, catch it so it wobbles in the air and makes it difficult for the goalkeeper. Straight at Rubizic.
Corner on the far side. The fans here smell blood. They're jumping up and down, roaring their team on. The corner comes in with the left foot from the far side. It's onto the edge of the 6-yard box. Rubizic wins the header though. It's back out to the left hand side. Touch taken, knocked backwards to Konstantelias. He's one-on-one with Hayes. Shimmies, puts it in with the right foot. It's not the best cross. It's headed away all the way down to the halfway line where Trostekong collects. That's Aberdeen come forward. It's Tyson who went all the way back, and he's now pinged it in with the right foot from deep. First header won by Aberdeen. Polvara picks up the scraps, and Aberdeen have got the free kick for the foul on Stefan Gartenman, or is it Nicky Devlin actually, who was in there. He's down on the deck, and he was barged over by Kouliarakis, and it'll be a free kick to Aberdeen in their box.
Yeah, look, it's easy for me to say from this point. They look dead on their feet, some of the Aberdeen players out there, and quite rightly so. The effort they've put into the game. However, I'd love to see them just push bodies forward and try and nick a winner, try and keep their European dream alive.
4 minutes of the 7 added at the end of the 90 remaining. It's Paok 2, Aberdeen 2. Action from Ibrox to come at the conclusion of this match. Can Aberdeen hold on or steal a winner here? They've been under the cosh for the longest time, but goals from Duke in the first half, and then Jamie McGrath's equaliser from a 30-yard free kick. Question marks perhaps over the goalkeeper, but it was a great hit. Aberdeen throw in on the halfway line, launched down the right hand side. It takes one bounce. Kouliarakis takes a swipe at it with the left foot. It goes high into the night sky. Hayes wins the header, and it's going to come across to the left hand side of Aberdeen. McKenzie goes after it, collects. He's under a bit of pressure, tries to force the pass down, and then he has to go after it. Wins the challenge though again and gets it back from Johnny Hayes. Tries the nutmeg, and Kedziora, the Polish defender, stood strong and made the block, but Aberdeen will have a throw in about 30-35 yards.
Yeah, and Robson, the first thing he did was signal to Rubizic, get yourself forward. He knows that they need to grab a goal. They thoroughly deserve at least a point from this match. They've rode their luck at times, but they've been excellent overall in terms of executing the game plan that Barry Robson set out. And one last chance, could it be?
Richard Jensen lines one up, he flings it in towards Rubizic, who doesn't win the header. It goes backwards though towards the Aberdeen goal, but Paok managed to clear it. It's upfield to Samata, and now the counter-attack will look to be launched. Tyson's making a run, he collects it on halfway, he receives the pass, comes back on the right foot. He's tried to switch a play as Zivkovic scampers after it. Is he going to keep this on the right hand touchline? He does. Zivkovic, he's one-on-one with Jensen, he's forced backwards onto his left foot. Good defending by Jensen, knocks it back to Kedziora, delivers with the right foot. It's not near a teammate, and Johnny Hayes is there to head it out the box, but it's only as far as Tyson, left hand corner of the Aberdeen area. Now to the byline, cross comes in the air, Jensen's underneath it, Samata's causing havoc. Will it break for a Paok player? It's out to Zivkovic, right hand corner of the box, comes in on the left foot, takes a shot, blocked, and behind for a corner, blocked by Jack McKenzie. It's heart and mouth stuff. We have 2 minutes of the 7 added at the end of this game to play. It's Paok 2, Aberdeen 2, Aberdeen defending a corner.
Yeah, they've defended the last couple a lot better. Fingers crossed they can continue that.
Paok ready to take on this near side, comes in from the left foot again. It's right on top of the goalkeeper. There's a defender in there for Aberdeen to head it clear to the right hand corner of the box. It comes back out And then it's passed into Konstantelias, cuts it back to the edge of the area. He was in loads of space, helped by Ozdoyev. It's blocked. Zivkovic, right hand side, has space, crosses it in with the left foot. Povara gets a header on it, glances it away from the back post area. Still Paok have the ball, left hand corner of the box. And the cross is going to come in, block made again by Polvara. He's run out to the left hand side and then he's pushed over, and the free kick will be given. And Kouliarakis has lost his cool here, and he goes in the book because he's utterly furious. He's shouting and bawling at the referee, but Aberdeen have the free kick. They've got 1 minute left, 2-2.
Yeah, well, just as it's served, he ends up in the book in the end. And I do not know what he's complaining about, because he quite clearly has no eyes on the ball and barges Polvara in the back. But Aberdeen, as I said, thoroughly deserve a point from this game. They've given their fans something to shout about. It's been a long trip out, a couple of goals, really good performance. Again, they've rode the luck at times, they've been unlucky. Paok at times not to have scored even more. But Aberdeen, really, really good, and showed Scottish football up in a good light.
And it's back with Jack McKenzie. He's under a bit of pressure here. McKenzie in his own half, he turns and launches it forward to the left foot. Miofsky's going to chase this. Aberdeen are on course to get a point here. 20 seconds left. They've got a throw in right down next to the corner flag, and this could be a chance. They are going to head out of the competition as it stands, though, because Eintracht Frankfurt are leading Helsinki by 1-0. It's in stoppage time there as well. So if the results stay as they are, Aberdeen will be out in this competition. But Richard Jensen is coming up. He's going to take the long throw in again. Is this the moment that one of them actually comes off? It'll be the last act of this game. And he's winding up a huge one. He's all the way back.
Redemption from Pittodrie, come on.
Jensen flings the throw into the near post. It bounces, cleared by Paok. Zivkovic gets the left foot on it, and then it's headed up in the air by Devlin in the centre circle. Rubizic is still up there. It bounces, it's fallen for Sokler. Tries to flick it onto Miofsky, but it won't reach him. Kouliarakis comes away with it, jinks at the edge of his own box, and there is the full-time whistle. Boos ring out from the Paok fans at the Toomba Stadium, but what a point it's been for Aberdeen. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be in vain in terms of their qualification hopes, which were faint anyway. But they've put some shift in here, an incredibly intimidating, loud, boisterous arena against a really good side in Paok. They've had to weather a storm, waves of pressure from Paok, but they've taken their chances when they came along. They took the lead in the first half. Nicky Devlin's cross for Duke, wonderful touch and then turn in the area from Duke, and he swiveled in, put it past the goalkeeper for his third goal of the season. Aberdeen's lead only lasted about 9 minutes though. A wonderful move from Paok involving Despidov. Konstantelias ended with Despidov cutting it back for the Brazilian Tyson, who was outstanding. He side-footed it home from about 8-9 yards out inside the area to level for Paok, and Paok have had a lot of chances. Rubizic put one off his own post as he tried to clear it, and eventually Paok did get themselves in front. And Bwana Ali Samata, the substitute, just on 66 minutes, ball come down, it was flicked on by Troost-Ekong, and he got the merest of touches with the head into the bottom corner beyond Kelrus. But you have to credit Aberdeen. They didn't create much tonight, but they defended stoutly when they had to, and they got the moment that they craved in terms of the equaliser. Jamie McGrath nearly 30 yards out with a free kick. We thought it was too far to go for goal, but he lined it up, he fired it on target, it dipped. Question marks about Katarski, the goalkeeper, but brilliant effort from Jamie McGrath that found the bottom corner. And then it was about holding on. They didn't have too many chances at the end, and they thought that Paok might have had a chance for 3-2. They were awarded a penalty when Kouliarakis went down under no contact in the box, but fortunately for Aberdeen, VAR intervened and the referee overturned his decision after an on-field review. The Aberdeen players go across to the corner to our right hand side here at the Toomba Stadium to applaud the fans, the 800 who've travelled from Aberdeen, and they applaud and sing back because they can be proud of their team's efforts. It looks like it's going to be in vain in terms of qualification, but they've done themselves proud this evening. It's finished here at the Toomba Stadium in Thessaloniki in Group G in the Conference League. Paok 2, Aberdeen 2.